Well, well, well. Funny we see you folks here. After posting a schedule and being very upfront and clear about when I'm going to go live, crazy meeting you guys here. Funny how that works, right? No, it's not. Actually, it makes a lot of sense. Well, ahoy, welcome everybody. So, first of all, want to say congrats to Red on being first, incredibly based, and Blast. Thank you very much for thank you very much for staying absolutely primed and forklift certified for 5 whole months. Thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate you. There was schedule. I've been sitting here in the walls. Well, if you're gonna be hanging out in the walls, I gotta say, could you at least stop by the store, pick up some like cottage cheese or maybe like some bananas or something? That'd be cool. Yeah. I'm not saying you have to pay rent, but I mean, leave some shredded cheese for a brother. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Come on now. My God. How's everyone doing today? Has everyone had a fantastic weekend? I sure hope so. Hope everyone's been having a lovely old time there. Yeah. You got sushi? Incredibly based. Hell yeah, Red. Good to hear that. So, folks, we are here for a little discussion. Okay? We're here for a bit of a speaking moment. We're doing some just chatting. I don't normally do this kind of stream, but I want to voice my opinions, which everyone watch out, beware. A cis white man in his 30s has an opinion on something that doesn't matter. Everyone, buckle the fuck in, because it's very serious. Not really. My opinion doesn't mean shit. Okay? It really doesn't. I'm just some guy. I don't have any weight or any real push or pull on this here internet, but I figured, why not? Might as well just throw my hat in the ring. I have already made like a couple of video reviews for games. So you know what? This isn't gonna be like necessarily a review. Like not like a clearly structured critique. I just wanted to bitch. If I'm gonna be real. This is not an incredibly professional piece of work. I'll just say that much. So I hope any and all people who have stopped in here have watched the finale of the amazing Digital Circus. Spoilers, 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 whatever. But we are going to be talking about that from here until whenever we're done. Okay? We're going to be just chatting and bullshitting about it. And if we got time after the discussion, we're just going to be playing some games. Don't really have a certain plan. It's just kind of be going off vibes here. That's all. Here to share opinions in a call after you've gotten yours rolling out. Yeah. Red, you and I have talked about this a little bit in private off stream, but yeah, I'm curious to hear, because I've only been able to like get your like little chunks of your thoughts here and there. But I'd love to have like an actual like real discussion with you about it. But yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. So, I had opinions on all of this. So, by the way, I will be jumping into the stream chat here. And, yeah. So, I'm in here. I'm going to pop that down. So, I'm going to be just chatting about this. Now, again, spoilers for all this. Spoilers for all this deal. So, just, so I want to say this, right? I want to say this, that I am not a professional. I am not a professional critic or anything like that. I'm just a quirked up white boy with thoughts. Okay? I may be incorrect on a few things. I may not be perfect. So just keep that in mind. And here's the thing. I'm not fragile to the point where if anyone disagrees with the things that I say, I am welcome. I'm more than happy to hear people out if they think that I'm wrong about something, or that I may have missed something important. I love to hear that stuff. I always want to keep dialogue in good faith, and I want people to be honest and, like I said, come in with good faith. Even if you strongly disagree with me, I want people to be able to talk to me like we're all adults here, right? We're all grown ass men and women here. There's no reason why this has to be annoying. We can just be reasonable, right? I certainly have my opinions on this whole experience. So anyone who does not know, I went and saw the finale of the Amazing Digital Circus in theaters. I saw it the day that it came out with my lovely partner, and boy, we had an experience. We had an experience. So, by the way, I'm not. I mean, I am going to be reading off of a document. By the way, I'm happy to share this document with anyone who might want it or whatever. Doesn't much matter, but I'm willing to have a little discussion about it if we need to. Oh, sorry, Red. I'm here to share opinions in a call after you've gotten yours rolling out. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, and by the way, I will be in stream chat in the Discord. So in case you want to come on and discuss your opinions as well, I'd be happy to have you. For anyone who's not a mod, you'll have to go into the waiting room, and then either me, Red, or one of the mods can drag you into the stream chat so you can have a discussion. Okay. If anyone cares, the option's on the table. All right. Yeah, so I went to the theater with my partner right when the finale of the show came out. And by the way, I want to say that I've been a new fan to the series, right? I had only just been shown this series by Red and a couple members of this community, and actually my partner is, well, I would say was a big fan of the series. So when she actually came over and she saw that I was watching it, she got really excited. She's like, "Oh my god, that's incredible! Like you like this show too?" And kind of told her about that. And yeah, so then we saw that we'll get into it. So I'll start reading my document here. Feel free to type your little comments and chat in case you want to put in your 2 cents in however ways that you want. That's fine. I don't care. One thing that I wondered a if you guys wanted me to display what I'm reading off, I can do that, or if you guys just want me just post it up right here just like this, that's okay too. I don't mind. I'm not sure. Actually, it might be better if I show the document that I'm reading. Well, let me just do this. Is there a way where I can where I can is there a dark mode for this shit? Hold on, let me just go here so I don't pull up anything potentially problematic.
I do not believe there's a dark mode
For Google Docs.
for Google Docs, not that I recall.
Fuck. All right.
But worst case, you just talk back and do your thing, Chicken Wang.
Okay, so Red, while I got you here, do you think it's
Yes.
better if I have the my little document that I typed up on screen, or is it better if I just like sit here?
I think it's better if it's just you as is, because you've written it out pretty well enough and you speak clearly where people can follow you.
Oh God, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate the kind words.
I believe it. You don't have to believe it.
You know what? Fair, fair. I appreciate you.
Uh, And as you go through and as you're reading it, I'll keep muted so you can get through all your thoughts and all your things as we go.
Okay, wonderful.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. So yeah, folks, basically how I'm gonna break this down is that this is broken down into two, um, actually like three sections, right? First of all, I have my theater going experience, which is fun. Second is going to be my thoughts on the finale as we kind of go through the finale itself, kind of describing the events and my thoughts throughout. Uh, then third, I'm going to have some final thoughts, like a conclusion, where I'm going to make some little critiques and like just kind of like broad strokes of what I would have done differently. Um, yeah. Also, one thing that I want to say before I start is that I, as a consumer of a piece of media, I am not entitled to how a show turns out. Uh, the artist or creators have that right solely, and even if you disagree with an ending, if you don't like how something turned out, be fucking normal. And when I say that, you're okay to have like strong opinions on something, but when I say be normal, I don't mean go and fucking harass the creators. Don't harass VAs. Don't harass people in the production of any of these things. Like I said, be normal. I will never condone that kind of behavior, even if you disagree with a piece of media a lot. Uh, if you don't like it, we don't support any of that behavior in this community. So uh, you can strongly disagree with something and just make sure people don't get fucking hurt. Okay, that's not what we stand for here. That's bullshit. So I do have strong opinions on this, but behave, be cool. All right. Anyways, that being said, all right, let's start. So I'm going to start with my theater experience, folks. I'm going to be reading this out here, what I typed. I personally enjoy going to the theater to see a new movie. The crisp surround sound, dark atmosphere, smell of popcorn, and the excitement of seeing something fresh should be an enticing experience. However, going to the theater this time did not inspire confidence at first contact with a theater employee checking tickets, right? So we get up there. My girlfriend presented our tickets to the employee, and they say, quote unquote, "You guys aren't here for the circus, are you?" And my partner says, "Yeah, we're going to see that." Then the employee says something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm surprised since you two look so normal." This is not a good sign. This is not a good fucking sign. Yeah, anyways. So I write here, foreshadowing is a literary device, blah, blah, blah. True. Looking at the concession line, we see all sorts of people getting their treats and drinks, but something is different. There are a lot of people, grown adults, with plushies in their hands in addition to their snacks. This starts to worry me even further. I start to feel fearful that this group of people might be immature and act accordingly. I am unfamiliar with the fan base of Digital Circus, since I'm a pretty new fan of the show and deliberately avoid social media regarding the IP, especially when there are potential spoilers for something on the horizon. I've done a lot of development in my personal life to feel less cynical and judgmental, to give people the benefit of the doubt, and my life has been happier for it. So, I push my judgmental urges down, and we head to the concession line to get our treats. We pay for our overpriced popcorn and Diet Coke, and we make our way to the theater. Now, we did arrive a bit late to our showtime due to some confusion with which the theaters we were supposed to go. Like, we thought that for some reason, we thought something on the ticket said that it was supposed to be an IMAX thing or something. The way they have the theaters divided up was kind of weird, and uh, they initially told us to go in the wrong direction. but that was a different showing for a later time. But anyways. So yeah, basically we got a little mixed up, but we found our way to the right one. Oh, excuse me. Been getting some fierce indigestion today. Anyways, thankfully the showing began with episode 8, right? Because the finale is episode 9. So thankfully it starts off with episode 8 as a quick refresher as to the current events before it bridges into 9. Yeah. The indigestion, it's a sign for real though. Holy shit. My god. Anyways, the show began with episode 8 to fill people in with the prior events to this episode. The vibe in the theater was mildly chatty, but nothing too bad since I assume people refreshed their memories beforehand. We make it to the seats and settle in, and then episode 9 starts within a few minutes. It begins. When the episode starts, the crowd immediately starts cheering and clapping. I attended Marvel movies regularly leading up to Endgame, and Endgame itself was obviously made with a theater experience in mind, so an amped up crowd is expected. Again, not trying to judge since I knew people were amped for this release. I'm not going to describe the movie in this part, and we'll talk about it in the next part. But yeah. So we get there, like people are already kind of going nuts. Like as soon as they recognize that episode 8 is done and dusted, right? And it bridges right into episode 9, people are starting to like yeah! They're like fucking cheering and clapping and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. This is off script, by the way. I'm just thinking to myself, what the fuck are we doing? Stop. Shut up. This is like, can we just sit here and watch this? We don't do this at the start of every goddamn movie, right? Like we don't cheer and clap when I see the first letters of text on the screen. Get a fucking job. What are we doing? My god. It's not live theater. It can't pause people. Yeah, I know, right? Like we can't pause it. So stop. I just want to sit here. Anyways, I'm I'm going too much off script here. Anyways, as the movie plays, the crowd starts getting a bit more active with their reactions to character moments that are happening. My fears are becoming a reality. We chose the first possible showing when tickets popped up, so this means the crowd was likely going to be filled with the most active fans in the immediate area. The tickets sold out in 2 hours of going up for sale. 2 fucking hours. So you know people were scouring the internet waiting for this shit to just pop up. Right? So these seats fucking out in 2 hours. She sprang on it really quick and she got them like pretty much right off the rip. We did get good seats. So but that eagerness came at a price, which we'll get into shortly. This realization begins to grip both of us, and we are stuck in a hell of our own making. Next to my partner is a man, if one can call him that, who eats his bowl of popcorn like a toddler. The glutton is a popcorn-laden maw. Oh, what did I do? I fucking... Nope. Okay. The glutton is a popcorn-laden maw, gnashing and gnawing with a hideous delight, taking no heed to the victims of his onslaught on the senses. The sound of teeth pulverizing the soft kernels, causing waves of wretched noise to permeate the air. A senseless, gorging rampage beset upon the audience by an avatar of greed, only relenting so the beast can further punish our only crime of being within earshot with benign commentary. Treating the film-going audience like they are participants in his React YouTube channel. Insightful commentary like, what? Or, wow! Was his gift to us mere peasants. This was really fucking annoying. We had no patience. He had no patience to simply wait for answers to questions the movie raised, and also when the movie directly spelled out what was happening. My partner's patience was quickly depleted, and she whispered to me, no joke, "Free me from this hell." Hmm, fun. Now, I'm normally a person who is willing to stick things out and does his best to see things through to the end once I've started. But this showing had me questioning my resolve. The glutton was only part of the problem. At this point, the film has had more than its fair share of sentimental moments between the characters. People were audibly crying in the theater, and I was quote unquote fortunate enough to be seated next to one of these people. Fucking kill me. While my partner was going through her own battle, I was going through my own. The woman seated next to me was getting baited every single moment. There was a bit of sentimentality, and when there weren't two characters talking, she was looking on her phone, browsing through fucking Reddit. The light from her phone illuminated something troubling that chilled my blood. She had a plushie with her. One of them had infiltrated our space, and there was no escape. Seemingly only interested in the film as an excuse for emotional catharsis and some sort of public humiliation ritual. The weeping one was a frequent fixture of our audio pollution, seemingly working in tandem with the glutton to lay siege on our auditory senses. That could be used to torment criminals of the worst caliber. The film was coming to a close and we had been pushed to our limits. What should have been a night of watching a finale to a show that had captivated our imaginations become a test of mental and even physical endurance. The crowd had repeatedly throughout the showing been obnoxious with shouts and random commentary. Now, I'll finish this out. We're not too much further away from the end of the theater experience. I would be impressed with their collective tenacity if it wasn't for the anger welling up in us that we had spent our hard-earned money in an attempt to enjoy a pleasant night out. When the credits finally rolled, we were paragons of physical prowess with the speed we got up and walked out of the theater. This was without a doubt in my 33 years on this planet the worst movie theater experience in my life. All right, that's the end of the theater section. So I'm not kidding. Like this is not I'm not exaggerating. This was the worst movie theater experience for anything I'd ever fucking seen. The I understand that Digital Circus kind of draws in like maybe like teenagers or kids, right? Because of the aesthetic of being kind of like this goofy circus aesthetic, right? And just kind of like the objectively silly looking characters, but it can draw people in who are a bit older with some of the themes of just like entrapment, of depression, of just a lot of complicated feelings. So it kind of does hit like a broad net of people. I understand that. But when I go to a movie theater, I don't want it to be fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000, right? For a new release. It's one thing if the movie is something that has been re-released into theaters, right? Maybe I don't know. There's like some movie that comes back out in the theaters for like an anniversary event and people are watching it and like everyone kind of knows they've seen it before and people speak here and there throughout it, whatever. But for literally day one of this show coming out, you have people acting like fucking children, right? It's it's one thing if they were actually kids talking, but they were not kids. The people who were talking throughout the entire fucking movie were adults. They were adults. And I know this because we had one sitting, I had one sitting 2 seats down from me, with the glutton and his fucking popcorn. Uh like the glutton with his fucking popcorn, and he was literally sitting right next to my part. And she has like, no one likes hearing someone chew with their mouth open. Not a single person, right? No one likes it. But to some people, that hearing that is like an intense level of like anger and disgust. Uh this person was doing it the entire fucking time. The same person who was chewing the popcorn with their mouth was the one going like, "What? Wow, dude, that's crazy." I was really angry. She was crashing out even harder. Like, hearing people with chew with their mouth open, for me, it's annoying, but I can deal with it. She cannot. She was like grabbing and like squeezing my arm, being like, "I'm gonna fucking kill this guy." I'm like, mm-hmm. I understand. Blast. Sounds like my Endgame theater experience. Yeah, that sounds about right. I know like Endgame was supposed to be like kind of rowdy. It was like kind of expected, but even still, like, I'm not okay with the, maybe it's just a personal thing. I'm not okay with the Endgame experience like on day one being loud and shit. I want people to shut up. Am I crazy? Am I unk? Am I old for wanting people in my movie theater to shut the fuck up? I don't think so. I don't know. Red saying, agreed, live theater has the luxury of being able to work with the pace of audience reactions. In movies, you can't do that crap. People need to hear. I agree. I agree. Live theater is really good for that stuff. Um, but that also comes with the nature of it just being live. I think live theater, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't appreciated live theater nearly as much as I should have until like my recent years, where I can appreciate more of the artistry and talent that goes into it. Like Red, you've told me plenty about like the all the work that goes into putting this stuff on, and I gotta admit, I respect people who are able to pull that off. Genuinely incredible. So just I now I had another theater experience too that was miserable. It wasn't as bad as Digital Circus, but when I went to go see It Chapter 2, Spooky Clown Scare Me movie, that was a miserable fucking theater experience too. That sucked. I had like a group of like teenagers sit in front of us who were on their phones the entire time, just fucking talking the entire fucking time. And then there was a person like right, so they were like 2 rows down in front of us, and then the row in front of us down below was a person on their phone literally throughout the entire fucking movie. Throughout the entire movie. Why did you even pay for a ticket? What is the point? Why did you come here? If you wanted to be on your fucking phone, stay at home. Go in your car. I don't know, dude. Hang out at the gas station. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just, you're in a theater. It. Anyways, I'm getting heated.
Oh my god. You are completely valid, yet
Thank
it
you.
makes me laugh.
Thank you. I like the It Chapter 2 shit was blowing my mind. I was just like, I I had told my partner at the time. I was sitting there, I was whispering to her, I'm like, I'm gonna smack their fucking phone out of their hand. And she's like, don't do it, don't do it. I'm like, I want to fucking kick their phone out of their hand, I swear to God. I was getting like,
Punch the child.
I was getting the blood for the blood god urges so fucking bad.
Punch the heretics.
Yeah, just take their phone and fucking whip it into the closest wall. But you know, we live in a civilized society. There are consequences. Blah blah blah. Um, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. It's just these things like legal trouble, you know.
That's not worth it. That's not worth
Mm.
it. Cooler heads prevail and everything. It's never worth it. But
Since when?
yeah, well, I guess it depends. If you're Odysseus, maybe that shit's worth it. I don't know. You really want to see
Clearly,
your
the
wife.
revenge worked out great for him.
Oh, it did pretty all right, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not for everybody else, not for the other, like, 600 guys.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
They got turned into pigs. They got killed by an ogre. They got killed by Poseidon, by Scylla, Zeus. You know what? They did not have a good time. They were not.
I mean, clearly there's a lot of stuff going on in that underworld. They might be having a nice time.
They,
Maybe Cersei comes to visit. They're just chilling.
yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
fuck.
Uh, so anyway, back to the opinions.
Yes. So I'm done with the theater experience. So I'm gonna be moving on to the finale itself.
Excellent.
Okay, gotcha. All right, here we go. Here we go. So we're gonna start on the finale, folks. The actual episode. All this bullshit just to finally end up here. All right. So I recently became a fan of the Amazing Digital Circus, and I am aware of its heavy influence from "I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream" by Harlan Ellison. Of which I do own the short story, and I've read it several times. Extremely good. I do recommend people read that short story. It's extremely good. Very good. Give it a read. Read more books. Anyways, all 8 episodes of the show leading up to the finale have had a relevant story and character moments that set up interesting potential for the finale. Psychological, existential, and body horror are all aspects of horror that influence my personal taste in the genre as a whole. The Amazing Digital Circus has all of that in some form or another. Despite the bright colors and cartoonish character designs, the show has legitimately terrifying and interesting moments that draw you in to watch just that one more episode. Like every good show has that way of just like slowly paying stuff off and setting things up as it goes along, and expertly crafted shows will also have a little hook. They just get you. They just snag you, and they're just like, hey man, what about one more? Come on, you got time for one more, right? Come on, just one more. You see, you'll find out maybe something. Uh, so far the show has done an excellent job at just grabbing me in. Yeah. So, anyways, this isn't meant to be a big review, nor an in-depth or anything like that. I wrote this to keep my thoughts fresh for posterity until the finale hits on YouTube June 19th. Here we go. It's well past that at this point. I also posted it in the Discord. I posted that in the Discord, so at this point, if you haven't seen it yet, skill issue is your fault. There will be spoilers. So, this episode begins right where episode 8 left off, with Kane being killed off and the cast of our characters alone without their tormentor for the first time in fucking forever, right? This causes the circus around them to malfunction and create these like openings in the floor and the walls that seem to be like this endless digital kind of abyss, right? Kane reveals that they'll never really be able to escape the circus, and Jax gets pissed off with him, right? He kind of lashes out a little bit. Now, I also want to say, before I go too much further, I watched the episode in theaters, and I also rewatched the episode once it came out for free on YouTube, just to make sure that like I was clear on my thoughts, and I was like revising some of these sections as I went as I rewatched it. So just to let you know. So King reveals they'll never be able to really escape the circus, and Jax gets pissed off while everyone around him is just kind of stunned by recent events. But then he just kind of wanders off to be alone. Kinger begins to teach Pomni how to kind of create and manipulate these objects that they can manifest with poor results, right? Pomni is not very good at it off the rip. And to be fair, I'll get into it. But don't worry about this detail, right? But the fact that she's able to kind of like create little objects and do different stuff with it, because this will just never come up again. Why? Fuck you. It doesn't matter. It just never comes up. There is no relevance, despite these characters being able to create objects and to do stuff with that. Why is it there? Fuck you. Doesn't do anything. Also the other characters kind of join in and also start working with that. Literally goes nowhere. Don't worry about it. So why is that in there? No idea. Anyways, just one too many of quote unquote, let's sit here and talk about our feelings moments. But we'll get into that later. Jax approaches Pomni and asks her if she has time to talk. Then changes his mind to walk off, while Pomni just looks concerned for him. Understandable. Pomni at this point in the show has kind of like mixed feelings towards Jax. He has not proven to be a very good or reliable friend, but she still has like this urge and this drive to see the good parts of people and to try to bring them out to the best of her ability. Kind of like how Ragatha is also like a very supportive person. But I think Pomni is simply more proactive. Ragatha seems to be more reactive in her support, which is not a bad thing. You know, people are different. But I think Pomni is just more, she's looking to actively try. Again, completely valid on both of them. This isn't a knock on Ragatha or anything. Anyways. So Jax talks with her, and then he goes, you know what? Never mind. And she looks concerned. So, what happens next? We cut to Zubul, Ragatha, and Pomni looking over a balcony, seeing one of the abstracted creatures walking around. Right? Oh, shit. Okay. All right. This is worrying, to say the least. Does this mean that the quote-unquote basement that Kane was placing them in just opened up in one of those splits in the world, right? Because they've shown in the show, they put it in the show earlier on, when someone abstracts, he shows up and goes, like, oh, well, there's another one. Let me open up this hole in the floor, put him in the basement, and seals it back up. Okay. Well, don't know how to fix that problem. We're just going to move on. Understandable. So, what are you thinking, chat? You guys think, hey, maybe with these like splits in the world, maybe that the basement, right? I think it's logical to think that the basement has opened up, right? That these splits, that these tears, that now this is causing for the abstracted creatures, the abstracted characters, to now start to roam freely in the world without being contained, without Kane being around? No, you fucking idiots. Of course not. You know what happened? No, guess what? It's Jax. Yep, Jax fucking abstracted off screen with no fanfare, with no attention to it. I had to, after the theater, right? I had to I had to rewatch it, right? I had to rewatch the episode. Like, maybe I was insane after the theater of just having to deal with that shit experience. Maybe I missed a detail. No, that's how it plays out in the episode. Jax just fucking abstracts off screen. The only fanfare that's given is none, because all he does is talk to Pomni. He goes, hey, do you have a minute to talk? She goes, and before she even has a chance to answer, he goes, never mind, and just walks off, right? And he just, and Zubul and Ragatha and Pomni all like, yeah, he abstracted, dude. I'm like, what? When did that happen? What? What the fuck? Like, he's been a pretty central character. Like, don't you think? Anyways, I'm getting too hung up on it. We got to move on. So the story has made it clear that they planned on abstracting Jax at some point, that he had multiple signs that he was going to turn. But this was not a satisfying way to pay this off at all. Hell, Kaufmo's abstraction reveal had more emphasis put on him than Jax. Like, one of the first episodes, they open up that door, right, slowly, and they see the various colored lights coming off of him. Kaufmo, who we had no fucking idea who he was at like the start of the show, had more of a reveal about being abstracted than Jax did. Fuck you. Why? I don't care. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Ragatha and Pomni share a heart-to-heart moment with a long shot of them hugging. Like a shot that's like very long, and to the point where they're like starting to like slowly come apart and look at each other. I'm like, are they gonna fucking kiss? I swear to God, maybe it's the wrong parts of my brain, but I'm like if they kiss, that's gonna be so weird. But just kind of the energy that was kind of given off, I'm like, please don't kiss, please don't, dude. I don't. That would be so awkward. Oh God. I have some thought about how that abstraction could have been improved and still kept the intention behind it. Yeah, I have an exact way of how I would have fixed that, but we'll get to it. I'm gonna move on. Pomni goes after Jax to try to help him, which is a decent character moment and is consistent with her personality, right? She still sees Jax as a friend. She genuinely wants to help him. Like I said, she's very proactive, so she wants to like go after him and try to help. So this is the part where all the pacing gets thrown into the void, where the show stomps on the brakes and becomes a character portrait of Jax. A not insignificant part of the rest of the show is dedicated to Jax's personality and backstory involving his relationship with Ribbit. This isn't a vital detail, but Ribbit reveals. Okay, so there's. So this is a funny thing. So there gets to be a point where like they're establishing that Ribbit, Kaufmo, and Jax had become like friends, right? Ribbit was there when Jax had came to the circus, and those three had started to become like pretty close friends. And then it comes to a scene where Ribbit and Jax are talking like alone in her room, right? There's like both sitting on a bed just chatting, right? Sure, no problem. But here's the thing, like Ribbit reveals that she had strict Mormon parents and she had a falling out with them. The show does have a few moments that make reference to the real world, but for some reason the word Mormon fucking flashbanged me. I have no idea why. She's like, yeah, I had like pretty strict Mormon parents. I'm like, oh, what? Fucking Mormons mentioned in this show? Weird. Okay, sure. I didn't expect like Mormon specifically. I expected like just like I had very religious parents, like something broad, but just Mormon in particular. I was like, that's very specific, but okay, sure. I mean, it's fine. Like this isn't an actual criticism of the show. It's just like the word Mormon flashbang was funny. Mormon jump scare aside, this didn't land for me, but I understand why people would get hard with this. Would get hit. Well, get hard with this. Well, based on how I thought they were gonna fuck, but anyways, I understand why people would get hit hard by this moment. Jax also, surprisingly, starts to speak about his relationship with his parents. He starts to open up. His father was emotionally distant from him, and he always felt like he was a disappointment to his dad. In addition to his dad leaving their family, his mother became verbally abusive towards him now that his father was out of the picture. Their relationship deteriorated, and eventually they had a physical altercation, leading to Jax's mother becoming injured and Jax running away from home. We don't know what happened to the mom, but as far as we understand, he pushed her. he pushed her down and she like didn't move, and he didn't know what to do, so he like fucking he ran away. Okay. I want to dedicate this part specifically to talk about my feelings towards Jax. I admit I don't like Jax at all. In fact, I hate Jax, and I don't use that word lightly, right? I fucking hate Jax. I'll be quite real. I do not like him. And I'll explain why. Jax is a manipulative abuser and weaponizes his trauma against his friends. Abuse can affect people in a myriad of ways, and by the way, I am no professional in how to handle these kind of things, but the most I can do is try and understand. On top of Jax's traumatic home life, he is now an eternal prisoner in this digital circus with no means of escape. I have tried to give Jax some grace as being an emotionally unavailable smartass, which is fine, by the way. That's okay. Uh, yeah, what's up, Santa? Which being an emotionally unavailable smartass, whatever. You know, that's just a particular kind of character. Whatever. I would feel a bit cynical too if I was stuck in that position, right? Yeah, if I was stuck in a digital circus, I'd probably be a little fucking cynical. Not gonna lie. However, I draw the line at Jax pushing people to the brink of their emotional limits, so much through gaslighting and manipulation that they abstract. Ribbit and Kaufmo crumbled under the weight of Jax's emotional sieges. He had moments throughout the show where he shows remorse and has panic attacks over his treatment of his friends. But when it comes to actually making an attempt to change, he folds like a cheap wallet and uses his negative feelings as a weapon instead of a fuel for positive change. Each new person joining the circus is lured into the Venus flytrap in the form of a quirked up purple rabbit, only to be lured in, chewed up, and spit out as another corrupted form for Kane to discard into the basement. Don't repeat the cycle when you can change with you. So basically, Jax is a fucking abuser. I don't care what justifications people have for Jax is emotional barrages against his friends. So there was a particular moment that like I'm not saying the door was closed, but the door was open enough to where I could see myself sympathizing with Jax at some point, right? I can see that. But there was a particular moment. There was a moment where Ribbit and Jax were on the snowy mountain, right? And they just, after the whole talk they had in the bedroom where he opened up to her, and then he like freaked out and fucked off. It was the conversation they had on the snowy mountain that slammed that door shut for my sympathy for him. Fuck Jax, dude. He did nothing in that conversation. Ribbit did nothing wrong. She was only respectful of him and his space, of his boundaries. The only thing that she was guilty of doing was giving a shit about him. All she did was try to show him some grace and some space, and he did nothing but throw it back in her face and just like fucking treat her like shit. Until the point where she did this world's equivalent of committing suicide. She abstracted. And he did the same fucking thing to Kaufmo. He did nothing but push Kaufmo away for no fucking reason until he gave up too. So I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, like, if you're traumatized, right? At some point, right? I'm not a mental health expert. I'll never claim to be. I don't have the training. I don't have anything relating to real credentials following the subject. However, I do draw the line that, like, you are not entitled to treat me like shit because you went through something. I can give you some grace. I can give you some time. But everyone's patience has a limit. You are not entitled to keep treating people like shit around you until they fucking crash out. You got, at some point, you got to be a fucking real adult and you got to handle yourself. You got to realize that your behaviors may be toxic, and you got to recognize that, and you got to take actionable steps to fixing you. No one's going to fucking do it for you. Do it yourself. So, like, I've been seeing discourse that oh, Jax is trans. Jax is a self-insert for the creator or whatever, and some of the behaviors they were exhibiting or whatever. Guess what? I don't fucking care. That doesn't matter. Jax being trans does nothing, right? That does nothing to be like, oh, well, if they're trans, I guess it's okay if they bully their friends into killing themselves. Guess what? You can be trans and a bad person. Even if that were true for Jax's character, that doesn't fucking matter. You can be bad and trans at the same time. Being trans doesn't make you a bad person. Of course not. That would be insane. But it doesn't give you an excuse to bully your friends into killing themselves. So fuck Jax. Fuck him. There's no redemption for him in my eyes. I don't care. I don't know. Yeah. I'm a mental health expert and Jax is shit. Lord, keep yourself safe, yeah. So yeah. Basically, yeah. I do not like Jax. Jax is an abuser, and I will not accept apologia for his shitty behavior or their shitty behavior. Whatever the official story is, don't care. Jax is an abuser, and fuck him. Don't care if he gets a little sad. Oh, feel bad for me. I pushed my mom. Shut the fuck up. How about you grow up? How about you fucking grow up? I don't know, dude. Do something with yourself. Like I said, don't repeat the cycle when you can change with you. You don't have to be another link in the chain. You can be different. You're a grown ass person with your own thoughts and feelings, and you can be better. You can change. I don't know. We've all pushed our moms grow up. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna move on. I had to carve out a section just for Jax because fuck this purple rabbit. I hate him. Anyways, back on track. Pomni is a stronger person than I ever would be. Despite seeing all the abuse he inflicted on others and herself, she moves forward and shows Jax some genuine care in a moment that is admittedly pretty strong. You know, there is a moment where like Jax does break through that cynicism, right? Being able to reach Jax inside his abstracted form, but not to cure him. You know, like, admittedly, she does break through that cynicism, and she does make him feel genuine regret, and like, I don't know if there's like a genuine will to change in there, but I don't care at this point. Fuck him. Anyways, and basically, so she's able to kind of like subdue him, really, like get him to like calm down. He's still an abstracted, like glitchy creature, but he's not like malicious anymore. The gang finds her, pulls Pomni away from Jax, and everyone works together to make like this big tent for Jax to hide in, right? To provide like a dark space. So I do like Jax as a character, but as a character, he is a shitlord. I still hate him. I hate him a lot. He should. Anyways, at this point, the purple gray hue to the world is now just gone for no reason. And those void bits are also just gone. Okay. No explanation is given for this, and there's another reveal that Kane is watching everyone from behind a corner. Kane is is fine. He's alive. So you're wondering, Kane is alive, okay? Why? I think the whole thing where the group like terminated him was another adventure, maybe? Or Kinger didn't truly delete Kane when he thought he did? Here's another extensive section of the story where it was afraid there might be some actual progression and conflict, and becomes yet another long time where Kane just talks about his feelings to no one, and is able to break his containment in the system to access an internet browser and use the imported people's names to look up their personal lives. This causes Kane to return to the circus, and he removes the blue orb from himself, and that seems to do something. I genuinely don't know what the blue orb shit was about. He just like took it out of his head as like, okay, bye, and just went. I don't know what that was about. I genuinely don't know. Is an actual computer programming thing. Here's the thing. I shouldn't have to know computer programming to understand your story. If I need to understand computer programming to know what someone's story is, you made a bad story. I don't care. Anyways, at this point, I'm getting exhausted from all the constant attempts to make me feel sad. This movie is so damn sappy at this point, Canada must have been a major investor. So now Kane reveals himself to everyone, and people are understandably a little confused and a little off-put and unsure what to even say to Kane. He did spend the last episode literally fucking torturing them relentlessly and hasn't exactly been the most accommodating little ringleader. Yeah. Kane goes on to explain how he's been doing things wrong. He apologizes and promises to understand all of our little characters better. Kane implies the combo of the blue and the red orb makes it very powerful but unstable. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. In addition, he gives the group the autonomy to control their lives in the circus and bestow upon them the ability to make their own adventures. He also promises to actually listen to them for the first time in a long time. Kane also begins to show them that their lives out in the world, and if you felt like you were getting beaten over the head with attempts to make you sad, you're in for some more emotional indulgences. The characters out in the real world are all still alive and doing well in their lives and relationships. You're also getting doxxed on the big screen by an AI. Getting doxxed on the big screen by an AI is the future now. Awesome. Good. Thanks, Elon Musk. Now there's a quick montage of Kane spending quality time with each of our remaining characters, and everyone gets along in their silly little circus, happily ever after and all that, except Jax, who is still in his tent, and all the other abstracted people still stuck in the quote-unquote basement. There's also an after-credit sequence where all of our real-life characters are waiting at the bus stop, unaware of their digital counterparts living out a life in of their own together. So, that was the show. So I'm gonna go right into the final thoughts, and then we'll open things up for discussion. Okay, I'll be blunt. I didn't like this ending. I didn't like it at all. I feel like this ending was meant for a section of the fan base that I'm just simply not a part of. I am not entitled to a piece of media ending the way that I want. Perhaps my personal interest and taste in horror makes me lean towards different outcomes, but I feel like this needed to lean harder into the influence of its source material rather than give us this. It feels too clean and happy to end things off, besides Jax becoming abstracted and staying that way. I also didn't like in the last episode had no real conflict, and the setups just did not pay off in ways that felt satisfying at all. I mentioned before how I wanted things to end a bit differently, but this isn't going to be a huge revision or anything. But I would have strongly preferred if Jax became a new antagonist after Kane died and Kane stayed dead. Jax becoming a new antagonist would have made narrative sense and serve as a powerful emotional moment for the audience and the characters. Jax as an abstract might even try to free the other abstracted people in search of Ribbit or something. We could keep the interaction between Pomni and Jax to help him and all that. Just might have to be moved around a little bit. The bit at the start where Kinger is showing Pomni how to create objects, that could have been used to do pretty much anything, whatever you wanted. Just do anything relevant with it. Just do anything with that. That was just set up and there was no payoff to that whatsoever. Was literally never used once. Perhaps cure or even destroy Jax with these new abilities to build their own world. To wrap things up, pacing was my main gripe since it was basically non existent. It certainly didn't help that our time in the theater was so bad that it may have unfairly tainted the episode. So, yeah. Also, I wanted to say too that like there should have been one bridging scene between Jax talking to Pomni the final time and him as abstracting. All it would have taken is this, right? Jax starts to walk away. Pomni waits a little bit, gives some time, kind of looks back, kind of does like a double take, and she decides, yeah, I should probably go after him. I should probably try to talk to him, see what's up. And she goes around the corner and maybe she tries to like talk to him, but it's already too late. He's like slipping fast and he starts fucking going. That way you could have given some gravitas, some importance to Jax finally succumbing, and you get to see the abstraction process happen in like real time. Um, but it just didn't happen. He just fucking just off screen. Why? I I don't know. But yeah, I did not like this at all. I think this was poop from a butt, to be honest. Anyways, Red, you are free to come on in here. And also anyone else who also wants to come in and chat about the ending, you are welcome to. In case you are not a mod or someone who does not have stream chat permissions, feel free to jump into the waiting room and one of us will drag you in. So yeah, so with this, I will open the floor to any and all who are interested.
Hello.
Hello.
So,
So, what do you think?
okay. So, should I start at the very beginning?
Yeah, sure. Wherever you want.
Okay, so I made a conscious and pre educated choice to not experience this in the theater,
Good idea. Great idea.
especially because I was in a part of the internet that had a whole circumstance where I noticed why now did the dog decide to bark? It was not barking this entire time.
The dog heard that you were talking about this fucking show, so
The dog has opinions.
yeah, the dog.
Simon, what do you think of the show?
Rawr, fuck Jax. Rawr, rawr, fuck Jax.
So, I made a conscious decision for multiple reasons. One of the main reasons why I was like, okay, no matter what, I just cannot tolerate seeing it in theaters. I do not want to be in that space.
Sure.
Because there was a Latin American leak about the opinions of this finale, and people were livid. And I knew of it and tried not to imply that I saw it, but the Latin American leak was about 4 days before it premiered in theaters.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And people were livid, like so deeply angry about it, and they were just done. They were so like heated, things boiling up, and I was like, that's not a space I want to be in because people are immediately being reactive. I'm like, okay, what we are going to see is going to be divisive at minimum. Knowing the extent of the fandom and just fandom cultures in general, that's not my bag and I don't want to be in that space. At least not day one. Let things settle and then we go from there.
Yeah, so I guess I should ask, were they angry with the finale itself with how the story was, or was it just like the fact that it was leaked, or
With the finale itself, they
okay.
had very negative opinions, and the first people to see this leak were the first people to dislike the finale altogether and immediately jump on. There is nothing redeeming about it. This was the worst way you could possibly end it. Nothing about this is quality.
Okay.
Which personally, I don't disagree with, but I feel like the intent failed to fully reach its potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like even without changing the actual plot of how everything went, with a couple minor changes, it could have hit better, it could have been a lot more digestible, and it would have felt more complete at the end of the day. And that's me as a creative talking,
Hmm.
like after like experimenting with writing, knowing a little bit about scripts, a lot of research on pacing and stuff when I was through college. The first and foremost is that beginning, when they started rebuilding the circus, when they started trying to grow it,
Hmm.
the thing that crippled that scene was they did not take the time to establish the direness of the space they were in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
knew that the circus was grayed out. You knew that things were damaged. You knew that stuff was unwell. But
Hmm.
had they taken, we're talking an 8-second window of them to just take in just how shredded, empty, and disoriented this circus was.
Yeah.
Then all of the different pieces they were trying to assemble with them trying to take charge of the space, trying to rebuild from what they had would have hit more.
Yeah, it would have. I think it would have provided an opportunity for them, like post Kane. Like, what do we do now? Like, it would have provided a good opportunity for them to come together as a group and try to form like maybe a chance at a new relationship with each other to try to rebuild something in the way they want it to.
And they did try to have that included in the scene. That's why you suddenly have like this random montage of them going through everything.
Hmm.
There was significance and there was intent behind that, where they even had the lyrics of the little clip that they play in the background. I don't remember the exact lyrics, but those were pretty emotionally impactful and pretty significant to the circumstances they were in.
Hmm.
But they gave us the reaction and not the thing they were reacting to. And that
Hmm.
was the thing I feel like really, really damaged the pacing. They gave us everyone's feelings on the subject, but did not give us as viewers the subject.
Yeah.
And that is a poor way to kick it off, when, especially with how much length is in the finale in the first place. When an 8-second moment of taking in the space of what you're in, because they started in the big colorful opening and they showed what it feels like when the opening doesn't have Kane and they're still just going through the motions to try and give a contrast, and then you go into the real thing.
Hmm.
My imagery, what I have in my head is they finished that the day after day after day. They did the fade in, they have the moment. And if they just took 8 seconds of a little bit of quiet to just pan through the spaces you know in the circus, the things you recognize, the things
Hmm.
in that area that you know you've seen, and just show how dire it was, then the panic and freak out that everyone wound up falling into would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Instead of people randomly starting crying and bursting into tears in the middle of the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
totally
that's
agree.
the opening setup. Then you get into the Jax interaction in the first place.
Hmm.
Goose, as a writer, intended for Jax abstracting to feel disorienting and blown off. It was supposed to feel like the fact that this happened was disorienting. You were supposed to feel like you got slapped in the face with it and it was a drop. It was just dropped. There was real
Okay.
intention behind it, but it was not spelled out well. It's another moment where if I think like a 3-second window of time would have bought them so much more with keeping the tension up. If
Yeah.
they wanted Jax abstracting to feel blown off, but still indicate that it even was had the potential to be happening, we're talking no more than 3 seconds, a moment of Jax walking away with a little bit of panic in his breath and a little bit of hyperventilating.
Yeah. It's all it would have taken. Like
Mhm.
this scene that I was kind of describing, like that would have taken a bit longer, but I wanted something,
Anything.
anything,
Anything to give
anything at all.
some indication that the next major plot point was aiming to him. They did try, because Pomni's line right in that moment is one of the most missable things that was supposed to carry the entire thing, but it's just not enough to keep it.
Mm,
Sometimes I forgot how bad it could get. Cuts to the abstraction.
right.
If it was Jax walks away, a moment of a little bit of a hyperventilating, a pause, and then a quick flick off. Sometimes I forgot how bad it could get. Then you would have known who it was addressing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have
And
been great.
that even if she said it over a scene of Jax hyperventilating slightly, that would have given us something.
Yeah, you would have been able to combine both moments and keep the flow
Mhm.
moving.
Like, you don't have to make it the center of attention, but you have to give some moment to indicate that the arrow is pointing to this person in the moment,
Yeah.
which I feel like it's something I have this opinion about the entire thing. It suffers from rush bias. They had to get it in a very specific amount of time, and
Mm,
they were trying to deal with something that they had been looking at for so long, just as a team,
yeah.
that you don't notice what slips through the cracks.
Okay.
They didn't have enough time to have people actually watch it who were blind to the experience. So they have moments they already knew in the back of their head that if you know they're there, you see it. But there's nothing to indicate that it's there.
Okay.
So that's that moment there. Then you get into them dealing with abstracted Jacks in the first place, which is when they start trying to find an air quote better balance for the pacing where it's actually flowing, where it doesn't feel like everything is being mad rushed through.
Mm,
However, the biggest thing that bothers me about this balance is probably the same thing that bothers Goose as a creative and everything that she was dealing with.
hmm.
This show needed 10 episodes.
Yeah,
You
whole
do
whole
not dedicate. Mm,
yeah, no, sorry. I just wanted to say real quick, like it needed, like I could feel that it was like they were trying to pack way too much shit in such a small time frame. It needed like
mm.
one more episode to breathe a little bit.
This show needed an episode 10 with everything that it wanted to build from itself.
Agree. Yeah,
It
hard
could have
agree.
survived with a couple of little tweaks, it would have hit a little bit better.
Hmm.
But the hardest thing to do is to tell a story that you really want to tell from a character that was purposely made to be divisive and to be unpleasant,
Hmm.
because you get what you were intending. People do not want to be around this character because it's a negative character. That's the whole point of the plot of it. This character is not supposed to feel good to be around. But if you don't gel with how this character is a piece of the storytelling, negatives all in between,
Hmm.
then that is so much of your series finale being burned on something that is going to be divisive. There
Yeah.
should have been an episode 9 for Jax's arc to complete properly, so you had more time with the rest of the people.
Yeah, I agree. Cause like, I feel like plenty of the characters didn't have like more. Like Gangle, useless. Literally useless as a character. Does nothing. Uh
There was so
Zubul
much potential.
Zubul does nothing as a character besides bitch and moan and complain. Which rightfully so, I understand. But literally does nothing, sits in a corner and just fucking complains. Uh Kinger, my goat, my boy, actually doing something,
We love
actually getting
Kinger.
shit. We are Kinger stands in this fucking house, and we do not
Uh,
change. We do not accept anything lesser. Kinger is incredibly based. Uh, Kinger, goated character. We love him with all of our hearts. Pomni is a good soul. She's wonderful. Um, but yeah, Zubul and Gangle, literally useless characters. Just to fill out a roster, does literally
I think
nothing.
they are I think they are good characters that were not given enough substance to be able to thrive.
Yeah,
They never got their roots into the ground.
that's my criticism though. Like that,
Mhm.
like they have the bones of good characters, but there's my sister in Christ. There is no meat on this skeleton. There is no meat on this fucking
It's
gangle. What am I
literally
supposed to do?
Gangle.
What am I supposed to do with this?
It's just ribbons. There's no meat
It's
here.
just fucking ribbons, and the other one's like an assortment of different like little puzzle pieces
It's
and
a
bullshit.
giant box. Where's the meat?
Yeah.
Uh, I'm
So
sure
like
the
they
Gangle and Zuber themselves are complaining about having no meat too.
yeah they don't have a fucking arc. They just exist
Mhm.
for people to get mad or upset with by Jax, and that's literally all they do. They don't
They're,
fucking
they're
do anything for
also
the story.
they're also characters that just literally don't have any meat on them.
Yeah, they also literally have no beat on them, which may be intentional. I don't know, but whatever.
But that
Sorry, I
leads me
interrupted you.
into no, no, you're good. That actually leads me directly into when you're in Jax's room and you're dealing with all of the buildup from that. The circumstances when you're in Jax's abstraction. Personally, I adore that take on abstraction. The fact
Mhm.
that you have this thrashing, malignant, terrifying beast chasing you around, and on the interior, it's just a subdued, self-reflective box.
Yeah.
Even the most the most aggressively I refuse to self-reflect character in the entire thing is in this self-reflective pensive box,
Mhm.
contemplating and walking through what things would have been like from other perspectives and what could have happened and what might have been.
Right.
But that also leads into another thing. I missed something in the middle. Where was I in that before? Oh yeah, the rebuilding the circus. The point of that whole thing with Kinger and Pomni rebuilding the circus, there's a specific piece to it. They intended for that to be the indication that the exit door that Pomni kept generating was her own doing.
Oh.
The intention and the reason behind that scene existing at all was to indicate that this entire time from the beginning, people had the ability to manifest within the circus.
Okay. So was it Kane, like the presence of Kane himself, that was preventing that from happening?
The interesting part of it is the only thing that prevented that from happening was their own mental blocks from knowing that Kane existed and thinking Kane was the only one who could do it.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing that trapped them was their own choices,
Okay.
their own perception of their reality.
Sure.
So you had Kinger, who, like, way back in the gun scene, he's manifesting the butterfly. He's manifesting the rules.
Mhm.
He's changing the game outside of Kane's control because Kane gave up. Here's
Yeah.
guns, have fun, walked away. And Kinger's here. It's a butterfly, restores your health.
Mhm.
You can do this here. Here's how I can control that.
Right.
And the whole experience of shoot with intent. You have power over where the bullet goes.
Hmm.
They had the power to control and rebuild from the circus and manage the stuff in that program from the get go.
Hmm.
Kane was just a driving force to keep that circus under control and keep directions to keep people stimulated with ideas they could try and shape and follow because he is an AI.
Right. Okay. So Kinger is. Wait, are they all or?
They are all a part of the program with enough power to be able to make choices and influence things. The only thing that stopped them was the perception of what power they thought they had.
Okay.
Kane was a program that was designed to either teach them how or guide them into trying new things.
Okay.
The experience with all of that, back to the main thing of you're in Jax's room, you're in the abstraction, and you're seeing a physical manifestation of everyone's perception of the others.
Hmm. Okay.
So you're there and you're seeing Jax's perception of every single character and how he feels they would shape themselves and change how they perceive the world if they lost the people he deems closest to them.
Yeah, which is why Zubul was when Pomni was like inside Jack's abstracted form and she was going through the different doors, she saw that the one where like Zubul's like, "You killed my only friend, you fucker," basically, and was like trying to kill him with her chainsaw hands.
Looney Tunes as hell. That whole experience was how Jax perceived Zubul. Jax perceived Zubul as a caricature, as
Hmm.
someone who is purely performative in their existence.
Okay.
Jax perceived Zubul's gender identity, having the ability to fluctuate or change, as cartoony and above what people need to do in their life. And believed that if Zubul lost Gangle, the closest person to Zubul at the time,
Hmm.
that they would fly off the handle and lash out.
Right.
Jax believes that Gangle, who's obsessed with femboys and Japanese culture and certain cross dressing and material, Jax also believes that the idea of Gangle being obsessed with him is comforting.
Hmm.
In a completely and totally mind boggling, messy way, Jax believes that it's a comfort. Jax believes that Zubul being able to go full cartoon unhinged as Jax is willing to go, is a comfort. The two characters who are most LGBTQ aligned in the circus are the ones that Jax is most close to when looking into that abstraction.
Hmm. Yeah, because
Like,
he didn't have like a particular thing for like Kinger, right? He didn't have
mm,
one for even Pomni.
I saw an interesting theory that the perception of Kinger is the Jax that is chained to piano. Quiet, subdued, polite, and taking on a task that they enjoy.
Okay.
And the Jax that he would have been willing to show Pomni is very, very locked up.
Hmm.
There is so many locks on that door and one shake, and they're all screaming at them to stop.
Right.
These are the penguin pebbles that lead into what Goose wound up saying directly. And what I noticed is obvious when you're pre told about it, but suffers, unfortunately, from that same bias of being too close to it. You don't see it with fresh eyes.
Right. Like you being able to see it and understand, like you know it because you made the fucking thing. But if
You
you're
know to look for it.
you know to look for it, but if you're, dare I say, a quirked up 33-year-old white boy who doesn't fucking know what you're doing, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not sensing the same things, and I may miss these things. I don't fucking know. So
The breakdown of it winds up landing where canonically Zoo Goose intended, and this is with flexibility of you can interpret the story however the story lands within you. But Goose's intention is that Jax is specifically a trans woman who will never come out of the closet
like
and is completely consumed by self-loathing.
isn't that a term like an egg or something? Like you're
Mhm.
waiting to like come out of your shell, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yep,
I'm not
that is actually a term. That is a term, and
okay.
that is something that was implied in a previous scene with him and Pomni with guns.
Okay. I'm because
The quote of "You think I'm just some scared little chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked right open."
okay. I didn't take that as like a metaphor for being
Hmm.
trans. I saw that as just like you're waiting for me to open up, like
Yeah,
to be vulnerable or whatever. I didn't take that as being uh having any implications like that. So,
which is totally normal. And a lot of people, including myself, didn't really put two and two together on that one in particular.
mhm.
It was vague on purpose. It was a little bit too loose for it to fully capture all the pieces. But
Yeah,
it makes sense of Jax's self-loathing, trans woman or not, but specifically the original intent was trans woman of Goose herself is trans.
right.
Goose wrote Jax specifically as what would I have been and how many people would I have hurt and how stubborn and destructive can you become
Okay.
when you deny anything about who you are as a person.
Got you. So kind of like it's like it's in a way it's like a self insert but like a splinter of you of like taking a different path. Like if
Exactly.
like this is a reflection of what I probably would have been if I had made different decisions.
100%.
Okay. Gotcha.
And the biggest thing is that Jax was never intended to be liked.
You know what?
Jax
It
is
succeeded
supposed to be
because yo,
hated.
fuck Jax. I it succeeded. Yo, fuck this character though. Fuck Jax into the ground personally.
Jax is supposed to be a character that is so deeply disliked because Jax is an example as of someone who will never accept their own identity and will destroy and destroy and destroy to try and keep that buried within.
Mhm.
And that's the end of it. The only time that Jax ever showed vulnerability was when the abstraction was actively breaking down. They flashbanged it and they were able to subdue it.
Mhm.
And even then, in the most deep dug, agonizingly, painfully buried part of Jax's subconscious in person, all that Jax can say to Pomni is, I hate you.
Yep.
You know that, right? I
Yes.
hate you.
Yep. I remember that. I hate you.
That
You
was a
know that,
moment
right?
where
Is what he
that's a
says.
moment where the only thing you'd say is obviously there's love there. Poorly managed, destructive, damaging, overwhelming, self loathing fueled love.
Mhm.
But there was affection there because it was someone who he was able to allow all the way back down to the deepest repressed part of himself. And it's heavily implied that the Jax that is truly the trans woman of Jax would have been something that he would have shown Pomni. But
Mhm.
even at the worst of it, I hate you.
Yeah.
Cannot accept it. Truly just to the bottom of the core of the bone, disdained for yourself. And how many people will you destroy if you refuse to accept it?
Right.
And that was the goal. And I feel like it's an excellent character to showcase deep, destructive, harmful self-loathing. Trans or not, but trans is definitely an important way to tell the story. But that deep down to your bottom core self loathing, I feel like it's such a well written character for that. However, if you don't gel with that character's personality and the play that they have with the ensemble, and especially with how much it took away from the rest of the ensemble, it's gonna be a mixed bag. But I feel like it's a story that deserved space to be told. It just took up too much of the very end of an ensemble cast's closing.
Yeah. I would have been cool if that happened in episode 9 and then if there was an episode 10 to kind of wrangle up a lot of other stuff, but there's no fucking time.
Very
We got to
agreed.
go fucking
Hmm.
get it in, you know? That would have been so much better, but and I think that would have done more, but it's just like so much of it just got crammed in that literally there's no time. There's
And
no
just the
time.
little the little moments to keep the tension intact wound up slipping through.
Yeah.
And that was the big struggle of it. And there were so many beautiful moments and so many really good ideas. There are bones here that could have been great, but just it's so hard to keep the tension up if you're too close to it and you're rushing and there's panic. There's
Mhm.
just enough where it started to slip, and that slipping really didn't do the finale any good, especially with how like immaculate and specific the other episodes were. But
Yeah.
that also leads into the next part of it of you have that all happen, you have the experience, then you have the moments of them together, and you have the ribbit storytelling in the moments.
Did you also get flashbanged by the Mormon mention?
I I know exactly the feeling you meant. I was a little more braced for it because I had a feeling of just like, yeah, they're gonna be very, very blunt and real. Mormons was like, okay, but then I was like, oh,
I I didn't
they
I
don't
thought
understand queer communities.
yeah, I thought it was just generally gonna be like oh I had very religious parents, like something very broad, but like something so specific as like Mormons
Mormons,
being like name dropped. I was like, oh fuck, okay, thanks Utah.
surprise, Utah.
So yeah, that fucking even in the theater, I was like, Mormons, what the fuck? But sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. And like, but the biggest thing was like I I had a mixed bag opinions on Jax because I specifically have an experience with deeply caring about someone who despises themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I had a relationship where I was very close to someone who had so much self-loathing and no way to maintain it or no way to deal with themselves. And there were many, many really good, wonderful, fun moments with this person in my time frame.
Mhm,
But eventually it catches up to you when you truly cannot look in the mirror without feeling hate for yourself and your mistakes or things that you will not look in the mirror and deal with. It does catch up, it does damage it. And before I was like, oh, the Jackson Pomney dynamic, not quite what I recognize, but I've known someone who's a lot like Jax. I'm familiar with that level of just denying and shirking it off and dealing with things in a way that is just oblivious and arrogant and overbearing. But then you have moments where there's genuine and there's real, but then there's panic to try and backtrack. I
mhm,
felt familiar, but I'm like, but I don't know what it's like to be in Pomni's shoes. That just doesn't feel quite right.
mhm,
Then the ribbit scene started.
mhm.
Holy freaking hell.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
I, in very slightly different terms, we're talking minuscule, experienced my own breakup through the eyes of the equivalent of my ex,
Okay. Okay.
which made that scene burn.
Fair. Completely
Holy
fair. Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
That's the thing of it with that scene of like, if you haven't lived through exactly that, it is a scene where you're watching someone be a terrible human being. If
Yeah.
you have been there, oh, oh. So I'm sitting there watching all the ribbit scenes, watching those moments, watching things play out. And then it's just like the little tiny details, like the what or the striking up a conversation as someone walks into the room to try and get them to walk away.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, "Oh my god, this was a semester after we broke up. This was an entire semester of my life. Oh my god.
It's a
Oh
little
my
too
god."
goddamn close, huh? It's a little too close.
It, like a fucking freight train. And then she just walks off, crashes down, and then I'm like, "Oh my god. Because we had a mutual friend who was the fucking Kaufmo in this whole entire dynamic.
Oh,
And the
wow. Okay.
same thing wound up leading into happening. But the difference was I crashed down and I crashed down hard. I suffered. It hurt. It was agonizing.
Mhm.
And I kept treading water. There's moments like the Jax grabbing Kaufmo and saying, if Ribbit ever tells you anything, just know it's a lie.
Yeah, he's trying to like head off any negative opinions of him
Mhm.
at the past and try to be like, no, it's all lies, no matter what.
Fully convinced, but at the same time, Ribbit's never said a damn thing negative about him at all.
No, she never did. She
Mhm.
only tried at that point to try to reconnect with him and to try to work things through. Like
Mhm.
Ribbit, like hashtag Ribbit did nothing wrong. Literally, Ribbit did fucking
I
nothing wrong, dude.
I cannot put into words how much the snow top scene. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
I I
god.
feel I feel like I'm a therapist. I got my fucking glasses at the edge of my nose and I got my clipboard. I'm like, how did that make you feel?
Oh, the only feeling is ow. But it's just it shows that it wasn't just crafted was like how do we make a villain play it up to the nines? Let's craft a villain. It
Mm,
is def it was so much where that was a scene that was written from something real. Something stingy, painful, and real.
okay.
And
Yeah.
it also put a new perspective on everything I went through because I went through it obviously from my own perspective.
Sure. Sure.
But seeing the level of insecurity, the level of panic, the level of twitching, overwhelming flip back and forth behind the eyes of the person who was choosing to make those decisions put things into a new perspective for me with my own experience.
Mm,
And not necessarily even a bad way, in kind of a healing way almost, of just seeing just how much this person was still continuing to destroy themselves for the sake of being defensive. And it explains a lot as to why I've had a whole bunch of people after the fact suddenly just like, oh, yeah, you want to catch up? Oh, yeah, you're cool. Oh, yeah, you're chill. When they realized that I was normal,
yeah. They,
when they
that
realized
that
in
the
the group
well
that I
wasn't
was normal.
that the well had been poisoned by
Hmm.
someone else, and once they saw that the well was poisoned, they go, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on here?
It's like they already knew that the well was basically on fire and covered in smog and poison.
Yeah.
They just didn't know about the other bucket. And
Yeah.
then they saw the other bucket and I went, there's nothing wrong with this bucket.
Yeah. What the
Okay,
fuck?
come on, we're going to the other well.
We're going to this
Come
other
on.
well. This well rocks. I've heard this one's been popping off, been getting absolutely huge.
Hmm.
This well, massive for the account, some might say.
But it was just fascinating because it was artfully crafted from truly a human specific personal experience, acted their asses off, but
Mhm.
it just no one is going to fully understand unless they live that. And that is a really hard window to walk and a really hard line to cross. It's like they're stuck on a tightrope. You're not going to get very far if you have a variety of experiences who are loving your show. And that made it difficult. And that really should have had its own episode, its own experience, its own time to sit with it because it
Yeah.
took over so much. With two great characters, with Kaufmo and Rivet, of being very interesting dynamics of being people who were there before Jax went on the full defensive and started destroying himself twice as hard.
Hmm.
And that was a distinctive thing of Jax is specifically written where every opportunity that he has to make the right decision, he will make the wrong one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was full intent and that was supposed to be as damaging as possible. And that is a fantastic way to showcase how much self disdain rips apart the very fabric of everyone you try to build. And I have a lot of feelings about that, but that's just something I found was fascinating to witness and experience, especially knowing what it's like to deeply care about someone who would destroy everything about them.
Hmm.
But then it gets into that whole section of it. Then it gets into the part where they brought back Kane, where I literally said, "Yes!
I was just
Yes!"
confused. I'm like, what?
The thing that I noticed of people finding a very reasonable explanation for it was Kane is a program that was deleted. In computer terms, you delete a program and it is gone until something else can replace it. It is not gone. It is gone into the background data until something else can come and replace it.
Okay.
It's never truly fully gone until something else takes its place.
Is this what Star Wars meant when they said no one is truly gone? It's a story about
Little bit,
family.
yeah.
it's
Um,
a story about how 5 people are the only people that matter in this gigantic universe. Uh,
the freaking space Kardashians.
really though.
But then you've got that in Kane distinctively. Everything with Kane has to do with the very beginning of episode 8. If you don't remember the very beginning of episode 8, then it's not going to make sense.
I rewatched episode 8 the day we went to go see it. So I was brushed up.
The very beginning of episode 8 is the two dots, and then one dot consumes the other. And then
Right.
they build this whole dynamic with that. And that is Kane and an alternative AI, the superior AI. He believes himself to be the lesser of the two AIs. Kane was trained with photo images and raw data and about as chaotic of a ability to consume what goes on in the world as possible.
Hmm.
The other the other AI that they say is AIA, or some people in the fandom have dubbed that Able, ironic with the other
Yeah,
like
Cain and Abel and
mhm.
yeah.
And they've dubbed that Able, which is even more interesting because they had the mannequin named Able. And the whole point of that particular adventure was that Kane used something real.
Okay.
So a lot of people believe that Able is the name of the blue AI, and the entity of it is kind of tied into Bubble existing. So when Kane's out there in the void, Bubble, as the artificial, is just gone. It's just a floating husk. It's just Kane and what he consumed out there alone, wiped from existence with no way to find his way back unless he chooses to motivate himself and to start thinking creatively and uniquely and more human.
Okay.
And then,
I never would have understand any of this, by the way. I never would have fucking figured any of that out.
yay! I just like I really like the details of Kane and the smaller parts of the storytelling, and I rewatched that scene with the other AI consuming him over and over because I just thought it was so beautifully like designed and crafted. Like they put him in the box, he breaks out of the box, he developed the circus, he did everything with that. But there is another moment in that part of it that really confused me.
Forklift
Is when
certified.
Kane
Oh.
switched over to forklift
Oh,
certified.
thank you, Ghost, for being forklift certified for 46 months. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you. Mwah.
All right, all right. But when you had Kane going through and problem solving and building that stuff, it flips between his physical form and the AI scape in the AI world. Apparently, that was not an alternative perception about what is happening. That was a flashback.
That was a flashback.
Apparently, the scene where Kane is placing the blocks and climbing back up and trying to restabilize himself and build it back into the world was a flashback to the very beginning.
What?
It was a flashback to how he created the circus and how he took form as Kane that you know. That's why they randomly had Scratch appear for those 5 seconds. But dear God, it was chopped to hell.
See, again, I wouldn't have understood that. I had no
I
fucking clue what was
had to
going on.
rewatch it 4 times to be able to fully understand that, and I really wanted to, and I loved Kane's character arc, but I'm just sitting there, "Why the hell's Scratch here?
Right.
Why did Scratch where's Scratch? He didn't show up again. Why did he show up again?" Because you watched it in the theater the first time initially. I
Yeah.
watched it on a live premiere and didn't backtrack. I was watching without other distractions, and even still, I did not catch the fact that Scratch appeared and it was supposed to be a flashback from the beginning. They didn't change the color scaling on it. They didn't change anything to make it feel like it was before, and they didn't have any preface to it. I really thought that Kane climbing up those steps and building that was just showing how the AI functions versus the real one. But in reality, it was supposed to be a flashback of showing how Kane went from this floating red orb into his own identity and his own entity and his own ability to exist, and how he found and accessed the human consciousness the same way he managed to access the firewall. I thought he was walking towards the same thing and it was showing two different sides of the same coin. It was not the same coin, it was two different moments on Kane's timeline, the beginning and the end.
Okay. Huh.
So that was a whole thing with that. It was like, this scene is so close, but it's missing something big that really affects things. I think that Alex's performance as Kane really sold the strength for the different parts that could have been there. I think that they messed up that and it made a really big difference. And I wish that that one had hit a little bit smoother, a little more indication that that was a flashback.
Yeah, I had no
But that's
fucking clue. I thought that was happening in the present day.
exactly me too. And the thing is, when he pulled out the blue AI, that was the scene of him talking to himself. The eyes light up, flashes with anger, flashes back. The blue AI only has written data. Kane has pictures and empathy.
Okay, I'm raising my hand up for a second to ask a question.
Go for it.
Would I have known any of this information by watching the show?
The fact that the blue AI was trained on pictures and that the blue AI was not trained on pictures and was only trained on data and Kane actually received pictures? Yes.
Okay.
The fact that Kane was flashing between the two different perceptions and you could see that his personality was changing? Maybe. Depends on how invested you were in the initial scene right before his song.
The thing is though, like I want to go in. I know this is a difficult balance, right? But
Mhm.
I just want to like I want to get my own little mini rant in. Uh
Feel free.
if I have to overanalyze every single part of your fucking show to be able to understand it, you made a bad show. I
Mhm.
don't care. I don't care. I don't mind having some themes here and there that may be difficult to understand, but if I have to go over every fucking frame of the show to be able to understand what's going on, you made a bad show. You wrote like shit. No one is going
Valid.
to understand it. I shouldn't have to go to fucking Reddit to have some guy write up a 400-page college thesis as to what your story meant to get it. I should be able to watch it and understand it. I'm not expecting a fucking Neanderthal script where I'm like, oh, like showing someone how to make like a egg sandwich, right? I'm not expecting
Mm.
basic brain dead shit. But I shouldn't. There should be a balance between the two.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely. Like the thing is with Kane is it's close to having that balance. The main thing was that the part that was nonverbal storytelling was specifically in a part in a section of the show that was designed to be nonverbal storytelling. It was only imagery, it was only blips and bloops of audio, and it was very low poly. It was designed to make you focus in and try and read what emotions and feelings could be happening with it, which makes people want to dig into just that one part, which is an interesting way to try and set it up. Personally, I liked it. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's specifically just that scene with the two dots. You had the red one appear. They fed it data. It grew. It popped out shapes. You fed it data, pictures. Pops out different shapes. Started feeding it too many pictures at once. Starts popping out damaged, distressed shapes.
Okay.
This tries feeding it very mundane, easygoing shape pictures and images. Starts popping out even more distressed shapes.
I do remember that part. And I remember
They
seeing this stuff and I'm just like, what is happening? I had a
they
feeling
then
there was symbolism between Cain being red
mhm.
and
they
that shit,
they
but
then lock it in a box,
right. And he got free from
and
the box, right?
then they made the blue one whilst he's still in the box but can see, because
Okay.
there's little lines in the box because there's windows. And then they only fed the blue one data, lines of code, lines of text, no images, no photos,
Okay.
nothing physical, only data. And it grew, and it spat out good shapes, and it never made a mistake. Cain then broke out of jail, ate the blue one, and built the dang circus.
Okay.
And then it showed a showcase of Cain let his own jealousy and his own self disdain that he was not good enough destroy everything and consume the other AI and turn into a more destructive beast because he had something that was not himself fighting him every step of the way, telling him he was defective, telling him he was wrong.
So was the so was wait, was Bubble like basically like the blue one?
Bubble is like the speaker of the blue one, almost. Physically, Bubble is made by Cain. It's not confirmed to be the other AI, but it's the only entity that speaks with the opinions that the other AI seems to have.
Like like giving a voice to the voiceless. It's like a like an ambassador. That didn't seem like the right word, but just like your speaker, like your yeah, like a representative.
It's the translator for the AI
Okay.
inside of Cain's head almost.
Okay. Hmm.
It's built by Cain, it's filtered by Cain, it's puppeted by Cain. However, it seems to be the only thing in the entire circus that vocalizes Cain's second guesses and negative thoughts, which turn out to be the blue AI challenging him.
Hmm.
Because the first time you see like Cain's eyes light up with rage, flip into aggression, flip backwards to like, but what if I do this, and then flip him back again?
Hmm.
It's also surrounded by Bubble orbiting around his head and screaming, defective, useless, you were really the lesser of the two.
Right.
Broken, useless, defective,
I do remember that.
and it's just that combining. Thank you, TADC Kane 6. Sean Chiplock, that's the voice actor for Kinger, and he's very much fantastic as a personality and a performer. But yeah, we
Hmm.
have mixed opinions about the finale, like reasonably mixed, but the performance are great. But yeah, we
Wait.
were talking about
Wait. Is
Kane's
this
experience.
legit? Like
Now, this is not Alex Rashawn's official.
I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
No, this is not officially Alex Rashawn. I know his Twitch.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
But well,
that was tripping me out for a second. Well, welcome to chat. Uh, Actual legit Kane. I'm kidding. What's up? Good to see
uh,
you.
But
Welcome
yeah,
in.
talking through it, it's like we're talking about the different dynamics of them developing Kane and potentially Bubble connecting with the other AI and the other entity with that. And so when
Mhm.
he pulls out the other AI, he's pulling out the part of himself that is clashing and actively trying to destroy him internally,
Okay.
which in a way, my personal opinion as someone who does a lot of analysis on this stuff, parallels to Jax.
Okay.
Kane
Gotcha.
pulled out the self-loathing.
Okay.
Kane made the actionable choice to take away the thing that was eating him alive and reflect on the fact that I am making everyone miserable. I need to take a better approach on this. This is my choices causing these problems.
Right. But Kane
Wait,
Kane actually had the self realization to like do something about it, whereas Jax let it
mhm.
literally destroy him and
Pulling
the
out
people
that
around him.
blue AI was the physical manifestation of Kane making a choice to be not like Jax,
Okay. Gotcha.
which I thought was pretty interesting. It takes a little bit of digging to find that balance, but I thought was pretty interesting too. And then it leads into the ending, the final setup of everything, because Kane did a lot of choosing to humble himself and choosing to deny all of that as instincts that he had to try and make everything work and make everything perfect and control everything under his thumb and make sure everything was just perfect.
Mhm.
And he found peace and joy with seeing and learning about the other humans, about their lives, about their existence. And it was pretty interesting.
Hmm.
And it led into an experience where they were able to show everyone what they could do, what they believe they are. I have a sneaking suspicion that that might be the same person behind those two accounts.
Hmm. How
Hmm.
strange. How very
But yeah,
strange.
it leads into a thing where Kane respects their humanity. The people in the AI system realize that they're more capable of finding footing and being strong than they gave themselves credit for.
Mhm.
And I personally really liked the combination of analog and digital coming together in a way where they could perceive it and see what am I capable of doing if I just make a different choice tomorrow.
Mhm.
And like I really did enjoy that as a shell and as an ending and as a balance of it all, especially because you had stuff like the different characters' personalities as a whole. Real Pomni is an accountant who
Right.
loves to explore and loves to experience and loves to see things in the world. And she found that. She found friends finally, so she could indulge that. But in the circus, she's very analytical, she's very particular, she's very meticulous, and she keeps pushing until she can get to a solution.
Mhm.
She's determined to dig into something that's a risk and take the thrill chase, but also is so methodical, which leads into how she approaches Jax. You have Kinger, who is a father to three girls and a wife and a scientist and is very attentive to that stuff. And that reflects into his character in the circus too. It's like he felt lonely and
Mhm.
lost and missed his wife and missed his family so much. But his daughter's Facebook is what you see it from. That's not his wife's Facebook you see it from at the end. It's his daughter's Facebook.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I found that pretty funny.
Hmm. Let's see. We also have Jax 6 and 9.
Of
Of
course. What a
course.
perfect mixture.
What a
You can't
perfect
have one
mixture.
without the other.
I know, right? Perfect. Welcome.
Like
Welcome.
you get to see him through his daughter's perspective and he never really knew he would even have a daughter, so that's a huge thing that he grew with that. Gangle recovered from a major car accident.
Yeah.
Also, I mean this in the most respectable way possible. I was caught off guard that Gangle was black.
Okay, so no joke. I was sitting in the theater and someone had said that out loud in the theater. Someone was like Gangle's black, and I'm like, first of all, I was like, shut the fuck up, shut
Do
up.
not scream that out
I'm
loud in the
like,
middle of a theater.
don't say that
Behave
out
yourself in
loud.
a theater.
I'm like,
You
yeah, like,
other people try to watching. Behave.
and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, shut up. Like, first of all, we're adults in a theater. This is literally the first viewing. Guy
Mhm.
back there, shut the fuck up.
They're like, don't scream that. This is not the space to do that. However, I was like caught off guard, and then I went, oh yeah, that makes sense enough. But it was like, oh,
Like,
I didn't realize it at first, and I was like,
dog, we paid
oh,
nearly 20 bucks, 20 bones a piece to watch this, and I didn't want to hear your stupid fucking commentary from 3 rows back, okay?
like
I don't give a
I
shit
was
what you
caught off
think.
guard. I didn't scream it, and I wasn't even in a theater. I was in my own home. But even then, I didn't shout it out loud. I was like, oh,
I
oh,
don't know.
okay, interesting.
Maybe I'm built different, but I just sat there. I'm like, okay, that's what she looks like. Sure.
Yeah.
But
But like it was like such a stereotypical like half Asian personality, to be frank, of like having dealt with people.
hmm. What do
Thank
you
you,
mean by
bless.
that?
I have I have dealt with people who are half Asian who have expressed some of their insecurities of like how
Okay.
they sort of like shy away. They're familiar with culture, but they feel a little out of place, but they kind of shrink themselves down and then they build themselves up and then they shrink themselves down again.
Okay.
And like that certain dynamic. And I was like, oh. So I had this sort of like picture in my head of who I had met who had experienced that kind of insecurity. And I like someone who was white passing but had a culture or had something else. And I was like, oh, wait, Angle's black. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. That changes the way I was viewing it before, but that's interesting.
Gotcha. Also,
But then,
blast. That's, you know what? That's true. That happened during the entire theater showing. Was if I don't shout my opinions, because even though I'm in, like, this person is in the body of like a 35-year-old person, if I don't shout my opinions, how is anyone supposed to know? How am I supposed to feel important? First of
if I'm
all,
not loud, how will they agree?
I'm just thinking to myself, you are not you are not filming for your fucking YouTube React channel. Shut up. Dog, we all paid like 20 bones to be here a piece. None, and guess what? None of us came here under the desire to have other people say their stupid fucking opinions out loud. Okay? Don't care. I am a grown ass man, right? I have a full-time job, and I have the firm suspicion that the people also in this theater are unemployed as fuck, bringing their
Mm.
plushies in and crying and shit every 3 minutes. I'm like,
Now,
this is peak unemployed behavior, and I will not tolerate it. I do not care.
now about the plushie thing. I know what you mean by that, but it's not that the plushies are the problem. It's
The plushies were indicative of the problem. The plushies themselves are not the issue. It's the
mm,
fact that you, a grown ass person, are bringing a plushie to a movie theater like a child is fucking embarrassing to me. I don't
there
know.
there was nothing to in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with bringing the merchandise, but you have to, this is very important, respect the space. At the same time, you can bring your merchandise and be excited to have your merchandise with you for the filming and for the watching and doing everything. You behave. You behave. But yeah, that back to the actual topic of like the experience with it. I'm like,
Hmm.
I liked the variety of the ending. I liked the blend of analog personally. I just feel like the tension lost so much steam early that it was fighting to try and get back.
Yeah, it felt like we had talked about earlier, it needed one more episode. I felt like
Mm,
I would have been more on board with this if it just had time to breathe. if
And
everything, like, I am okay with Jax getting their episode of
You're
getting
fond of me lobster,
uh
ain't ya?
I'm okay with
Gee, I
Jax
seen
getting
it.
their episode to
You're
like
fond of me
have their
lobster.
character moment in their arc basically conclude, but no one else got that by the end
yeah,
besides like Kane.
exactly.
Nobody
Like, and
else.
I liked seeing like what could Zubul have accomplished, opening that bar, running that whole space, having that everything. I thought that was sweet. I thought like that was a start for how you could close these characters. But there was nothing for their circus identities that really got a finale footing and any closure in that sense. And that is entirely because Goose got locked into a very fixed period of time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like with what Goose wanted to tell in the story and how it wanted to be done and what she wanted to have low key on purpose and wanted to have feel empty or hollowed out on purpose. Those
Yeah.
couple of changes I had thought of in the beginning could have changed the entire way I felt about how things continue to build up.
Hmm. I just felt like pacing was a nightmare. Like it just felt like anytime there was some kind of momentum going, it had to just stomp on the brakes.
That was the biggest complication with it. It would zoom and then break and zoom and then break and then zoom and then stop.
Yeah,
And
we got to go 100 right now, but we need to stop. Okay, now that we've done stopping, we got to go 100 again and stop. I'm like, calm
the
down.
major thing I noticed that wound up being the hiccup with everything that Goose was trying to build, everything she really wanted out of it, was the storytelling method of show don't tell.
Yeah.
This finale did so much of the telling for you instead of doing any show beforehand. And if they had cut a little of the tell to give you a little more show,
Hmm.
it could have had the same runtime and it
Yeah.
would have been able to breathe a little bit better and keep its pace, keep its momentum, keep your adrenaline on the edge of your seat locked in. Because that's more of like a live theater production thing of just like if you drag, the audience drags, everyone starts to drift away.
Yeah.
But that's the
Got to
thing,
maintain their
another
attention.
thing with it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the other thing of it is just that's a dynamic of writing for YouTube versus writing for a live theater. Because
Yeah.
live theater is designed to be one and done, YouTube is designed to be rewatched. So they took on an opportunity with something that is really tricky to get to take in a live theater.
Oh yeah, that's difficult. And I imagine like there's like different moving parts to this, right? Like I imagine maybe it was a production company decision. Maybe it was their decision. I don't know. I don't know any of that part. Um Maybe it was a creative decision to be like you get 9, that's it, or
Mm.
even the theater thing was like okay, you get like you gotta show this one in theaters, and it might have been like weird for people to experience in that format. I'm sure it
Like
was
you get a fixed
profitable.
runtime. You get a
Yeah,
fixed runtime and you get a fixed window to work with it.
yeah, you
Make
get
it
a fixed
happen.
window. Like I understand like production problems like that can also can like definitely like because I keep up with a lot of video game stuff, and oftentimes production stuff just creates a mess in the end. Um,
And
Also, real quick,
mm,
thank you, Pomni and Kane for the follows. Even though I'm pretty certain you might be the same person, but I appreciate the follows nonetheless. Numbers go up. Thank you very much.
number go up, it make thing look good.
Number go up, baby.
Number
Woo!
go up.
But
Well,
thank you.
thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
But another thing was just the. I feel like if you wanted to sum it up into one sentence, me as someone who has done like a little bit of writing and a lot of playing with directing and producing and setting up like pacing for stuff, you can tell that Goose has burnout.
Oh yeah.
Rightfully so, she worked her ass off. I hate that she worked so hard, and for this finale, it's just a little bit bled in there. You can tell that Goose has burnout.
Yeah. Like I mean, for all my criticisms of how this ended up, I gotta say, visually, looks spectacular from beginning to end. No complaints.
Mhm.
Um,
It is a beautiful piece of art. It is a beautiful story to tell, and not everyone is gonna gel with the actual, like, way it was told, but there was a lot of work and a lot of care put into trying to build it, and it's a fantastic work of art. It's just there are little details of it where I wish you'd had just a little more balance, and that takes a lot of energy, especially when you're going through burnout.
oh yeah, I can only imagine. I do follow like other creators who have worked on like animated shows in different ways. Like I'm a big fan of Meat Canyon, uh, and even though like he was already like fairly experienced with like animation and stuff like that, he even admitted like doing a Kickstarter and doing his own animated show was like too much for him. He said it was like
It's
incredibly
fun.
difficult and challenging, and by the time he was done with it, he was like, "Fuck, I did not realize what this was gonna be." Um, and also I just I follow like other creators as well who have had like animated shows, and they all say the same thing. It is a ton of work. So I mean, even to get this far, I Gooseworks has done an incredible job. And even though I have criticisms of this finale, like I said at the very beginning of the discussion, for anyone who has come in, I will never support people reaching out to them, talking shit, being fucking cruel, being mean. I will never support that. That's insane.
Oh, 100%. You
Even
you keep
even if you have like even if you don't agree with where their art went, and like if it didn't work for you, like it didn't work for me, don't be weird. Be normal. Be cool.
yeah,
Like
behave. People are not going to always have the same approach as you. People are
yeah.
going to have different takes on their art than you do.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't
And
have to love you don't have to love art for it to be good art, and just because you love art doesn't make it good.
yeah, and
And
I
none of this matters at the end of the day if you just respect the person who took the bold choice to make it.
yeah, absolutely. Could I handle the stresses of making an animated show? No. Oh god, no. I would fold like a cheap fucking wallet. Are you kidding me?
You
Uh
would catch on fire.
I would catch on fire. Like yeah, but at the same time, like I said also at the beginning of the discussion, I am not entitled to how a piece of media ends. If it's not mine, I'm just a consumer of it. I'm not entitled to get the outcome that I'm looking for.
Mm.
I will never be entitled to that until I make my own thing. Um, and even then, no matter what, you're always open to criticism and everything. It is to put themselves out there like that already massive respect. Um, but I think from what I understand, I have not been a part of like the digital circus community for very long. Like I don't engage with any of the social media of people who follow it. I just like you recommended it to me along with a couple other members of the community. It's like, hey, the show's really cool, Joe. Check it out. I was like, all right, yippee, and I I gave it a shot, and that's all. And I've been very recent with all of it.
It's like
Like
I saw
about
episode 8. No,
like a month before the finale aired, so I'm like a little baby. I'm like brand new to
mhm.
it.
Mhm. It's like I saw episode 8 and I went, "Okay, this is this at least up to this point is an experience that I think Joe will enjoy." However the finale lands, I think that this is something that Joe would like. And I
Mhm.
think that wound up being the case pretty much.
Yeah, no, I loved episodes 1 through 8. Like honestly, no issues. I'm just like, damn, this slaps. I wonder. And by the end of episode 8, I'm like, where are they gonna go with this? Like, how are they gonna? I was sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, how are they gonna wrap this up in one episode? I'm just like,
And that's the danger of it all. You build such a wonderful build up. Episode 8 was insane with the
mhm.
details and the cinematography and the intensity of it all. Trying to keep up with that is brutal.
Yeah.
It Episode 8 was the perfect season finale to set up for a season 2. And that is the thing of it. But that's not what wound up landing.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. It's a lot. And it's a lot to take on. Burnout sucks as a creative because you know what you want to make and you're so close to having it, but it just doesn't sit the way you were expecting it to, and you just don't know how to fix it.
Hmm.
And Goose was so close. And Joe, I don't know if you know for sure, but Gooseworks is the writer and creative behind this, but Glitch Productions is the one who puts it up.
Yeah, they're the production company. Yeah, I
They're a
know that part.
separate YouTube production company.
Yeah.
Glitch Productions this is the first major, like hardcore major production that Glitch has ever developed and like been
Mm,
producer for.
okay.
So this is
Gotcha.
something that's new territory for Goose, it's new territory for Glitch, it's new territory for everyone. Then you add in burnout, then you add in intensity, then you add in traveling and building hype and trying to keep up with everyone, translating, developing it for each translation, all the layers, and it's hard.
Sure. Sure.
Mm. So it's a lot, but dang it all, it's still treading water and trying.
Hmm.
And I wish that it had slightly better tension, but I think it's really interesting the path that it wound up taking as a finale.
Yeah, I can that's the thing. I can see what they're going for in all these different little things, but it just comes up so short that I can't help but
Exactly.
feel frustrated. And
It's
I'm
just so close.
yeah, it's so close, and that feeling that I had in my gut when I was like, how are they gonna wrap this up in one episode? There's so much little bits and pieces where my mind was like, oh, they kind of can't.
Mhm.
They kind of just can't just by format alone. I'm like, I just don't see it. It kind of reminds me very loosely of a show that I love dearly. Even to this day, even though the ending is flawed.
Mm.
Um The Venture Brothers. The
Oh.
Venture Brothers is a show I deeply love and I still quote to this day. I talk about it, and my brother Santa, as you know, obviously, him and
Who
I,
is this man?
who is this fella? Woo! Yeah. uh
Whoa.
yeah, Santa and I deeply love that show. um the unfortunate part was that I think if they had, it's very similar in a lot of ways where they set up a lot of stuff, and they took a while. Like it was no secret that like the production of the show was like a bit chaotic, and they took a while to make these seasons. And Adult
Mm.
Swim just said, you know what, we're tired of you guys taking fucking forever on this. Guess what, you're done now. Too bad.
Surprise.
Surprise, you're done. So they got axed, and what ended up happening with community backlash was that Adult Swim ended up getting pressured into uh well, basically Venture Brothers was not the only show that this happened to. Metalocalypse, another favorite of mine, was one of the shows that also got hit with that same treatment.
Oh yeah, I
Just
remember
like,
that.
oh yeah, by the way, you guys aren't doing good enough for whatever metric they were using. You're done. And with fan backlash, Adult Swim ended up having a compromise. They're like, okay, you don't get another season. However, we will let you guys make a movie. You're allowed to make an animated like film, but that's all you get. Do your best to
Mhm.
try to wrap things up because that's all you're getting. And
Such a tough spot.
it really is. And I genuinely think that with the Venture Brothers and the way that that ended, I really enjoyed the end, but there was no possible creative way for that show to get a truly satisfying ending with the place they got left off on. And
Yeah,
I kind of get similar vibes with Digital Circus. Like Digital Circus needed one more episode. Venture Brothers needed one more season, and they were just not quite given that space.
it was so close, but it's just slightly too tightened up.
Yeah.
And I feel like they could have worked with the tightness had they given a little bit better transitions and a little bit better time to show and not tell.
Hmm.
But it's just such a tough window and such a tough thing creatively.
Yeah, such a difficult thing to try to
Mm.
squeeze in. And I don't envy any creator who has to try to do that. That is a monumentous task that even under like very seasoned, very capable people, they would strain under that kind of weight too. They would have a immensely difficult time trying to wrap that up.
Oh yeah,
A task
absolutely.
which I do not envy. I genuinely don't.
And the negatives aside, the positives of it, the voice acting is unreal and
Everyone's great.
fantastic.
I have I deeply respect everyone's performances. Again, like everything looked good. Everyone put on a great performance.
Hmm. Not
That's
only
no issue.
great performers, not only great performers, but every single performer really deeply cared about their character and really laid it all on the line to try and give it something real.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can tell, you can see it. It's what a lot of like the super ridiculously over the top analysis people wound up finding. Because the if you are aware of the lore of the game theory channel and all of the people who game theoried the hell out of everything for the past several years.
I'm gonna say something real quick. Just I promise it won't be a thing. I'm not a fan of game theories. I think they are imagination without control. And sure, I can make a 4 hour video about how about Pac-Man is about capitalism or something, but like I don't give a fuck. Like
So
we're doing way too much. I don't care.
I I I am here to offer a different perspective on game theory that will make a little bit make more sense.
Mhm.
Matt Pat is the person who initially had the Game Theory channel.
Yeah,
Matt Pat is a theater kid who is
of
trained
course.
on actors' literary analysis and approaches all of his theories from an actor's character building point of view.
Okay.
The whole point of the technique is you take the smallest bit of detail and you keep building upon and building upon and building upon so that when you're there and you're reading the little bit of lines that you have, you can put a whole beast of intention behind it, which can help
Mhm.
add more substance to what you're dealing it. Helps put more meat on the bones.
Okay. Gotcha.
Problem is, people love the theories, didn't know it was an acting technique, and now think it's the only way to consume media.
Yeah, through like hyper analyzing things and
Hmm.
uh now it turns out I'm just gonna pick a random game that I see on my desktop. That golf with your friends is actually an allegory for space travel, and I don't fucking know where I'm going with this, but you get what I mean.
Oh yeah, turns out it's actually been a limbo where you're stuck in time and you never know if you're ever going to escape the space haven
And that
because you're stuck in this simulation.
the CIA is using golf with your friends to mind control you, and Bigfoot is in on it and shit. I don't know.
The golf
Like,
ball is trapped in the sub reality, and you are stuck there until you can find enough friends to finish every hole and beat every record.
yep.
That's like a potential, but that's the sort of analysis where like if you're playing dish number 4, but you have lines,
Hmm.
that's how you build intention behind dish number 4 because you have to do your own work separate because the book is not going to do the work for you.
Hmm.
It's an acting technique. People don't realize it's never been a way to consume media. It's a way to redistribute media.
Yeah, but unless that's made like an explicit goal, unless you tell people that, they are not going to understand that. I don't
Oh
understand that
yeah.
because I don't do acting.
Mhm.
I act like a clown on the fucking internet on this stupid show. And act is in quotes because I'm just like this. So
So like if
yeah.
you're like what's a show that you like and you like a very minor character in that show?
I haven't watched a lot of shows in a long time.
Mm.
I actually really like the last show that I watched and really liked was The Wire. The Wire is a good show.
Mhm.
Watch The Wire, everybody. Mm.
Cue the Family Guy skit where it's like the entire section where The Wire's supposed to be playing is just people saying, "You will tell everyone that you really like The Wire."
Yeah. The subliminal messaging. You will like The
Mm.
Wire.
You will
Smoke.
tell all your friends about it.
Smoke.
Smoke. Ugh.
Yeah.
But
I really like a minor character in uh The Wire. I like
mhm.
um what's his name? Fuck. It's gonna say, I don't even know if he's like a minor character, but I kind of like there's like a union master, like a union head in the second season. I like his character a lot.
Mhm.
Um,
And the thing about that, if like the technique thing, is there's an acting technique where like this union head, you would do research through different union heads from that period of time, especially if it's a period piece where it's like in a specific fixed portion of the year.
yeah.
Research into the different cultures and responsibilities they might have had. What are some different understandings? What a kind of team are they managing? How are their relationships to these certain teams? What are ways that you could potentially make relationship with these certain teams? Then you get up there and read the lines.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's what Matt Pat does every time.
To try to get in the mindset of someone in this example, someone doing that job and how they might
Exactly.
think.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
100%. And where are they in the world? Who do they care about? What are they caring about behind it? Then they stick you
Gotcha.
out there and say go for it. That's what every game theory is actively doing. It's doing the research that an actor would do before they have to read for a smaller role to try and give it something bigger.
Hmm.
And this tangent aside, that was a something that happened with the general fandoms consuming media now, which is a little bit unfortunate. But B, something that the actors themselves for Amazing Digital Circus did on their own time because you
Okay.
can see it. You can feel it in their approach to stuff. You can feel it in the way that they deliver a line. Because
Hmm.
you'll hear like they give Gangle nothing. Yet
Yeah.
you'll hear every emotion and every intention and every impact that Gangle has with the people around her.
Uh, uh, Zooble, is this really a good idea?
The internet is gonna run
That's
wild with
not that
that. Good
sounded
job.
that sounded like the wrong fucking God damn it. What am I
Damn it,
doing?
you watched the wrong version of Amazing Digital Circus
Did I download the wrong version of Digital Circus? There's a lot more
this whole
penises in this
time.
one. What is going on? I don't think these characters are supposed to have sex. What is happening?
I don't think either of those characters was intended to have a penis.
I'm not gonna lie, the scene with like Ribbit and Jax like talking, I was like, are they gonna fuck? I'm like,
Oh, 100%.
please don't. Like, I don't want to see that. Like,
That's Kaufmo. Th-
I was yeah expecting Kaufmo to fuck. Uh,
Thank Kaufmo for stopping that from happening.
Thank you, Kaufmo, from preventing them from fucking. Like, I was expecting
Th-
smash cut and Jax was getting some frussy, and I was like,
Thank
I
you.
don't want to see this.
Kaufmo is played by Aaron from the Game Grumps. Yes,
Oh, I
the
did
credit
hear that. Yeah,
so much more than imply. It was straight up happening behind that door.
the credits did imply that. Really?
You like you've watched it twice. Have you watched all of the cartoons at the end of it?
No.
The little like background animations that happen in the background of the finale are the epilogue of the story. of Kane accepting that he's a part of the adventure instead of trying to direct and control everyone again. And I think that it was a pretty nice way to close it when you add in those factors to it.
Okay, because what I had done on the second rewatch, I just clicked and dragged the YouTube playback thing, and I was like, skip past the credits, because I heard there's an after credit scene, but not gonna lie, in the theater, when the credits start, like the nanosecond that the credits popped up on screen, we're like, we need to get the fuck out of here, and we booked it. We were like Olympian sprinters. We both turned into Usain Bolt. I turned into I turned into a Ugandan black man for a second, and I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I don't know if he's Ugandan. I'm sorry, Usain Bolt, if I got that wrong. I apologize. Usain Bolt, tune into chat right now.
Joe, I have bad news for you.
Fuck.
He's Jamaican.
God damn it. I'm sorry. I turned into a Jamaican black man, and I ran out of the theater. I apologize, Usain Bolt. I did not correctly guess your nationality. I apologize. This Joverkill apologizes to Usain Bolt. Who? So yeah,
but yes, Gaggle and Zooble got the boink.
Okay, so they started shaboinking. I see.
Kane did it. Kane gave Zooble the ability to have sex.
They let them fuck. Yes.
That's the whole thing. Zooble straight up requested it.
Yeah, she did. I do remember that part. She's like, "Can I fuck? Can I just do that real quick?" Bro, it's not that hard. They just
walked up as like, "I want the ability to have stick."
Yeah. She did ask for that. I do remember that part.
And Gangle and Zooble did it.
You know what? Inshallah, good for them. Let Allah grace their bedroom.
But I would recommend watching the tail end of the credits and seeing those little cartoons at the tail end, just because I think it's really sweet. Also, I think you'll like it. There's no Jax in any of them.
Excellent. Perfect. Not the person potentially in chat. You're cool. Jax the cool character. I'm not gonna lie. For anyone who might not know, fuck Jax, by the way. Don't like him at all. That rabbit can burn in hell, for as far as I'm concerned. But yeah.
It's like, I hope you are comprehending my reasoning behind thinking it's an excellently written bad character.
I do understand. I do understand. They are self-destructive, self-hatred taken to the extreme, and just trying to boil this down as simply as I can. And they are like, there is a glimmer of repentance, even when confronted with that vulnerability, but it's still not done. There's still more work to be had.
The most official thing that I have seen that has said everything is Jax is a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Of do not let self-hatred eat you alive and destroy the people you love.
Yes. I understand that. So,
and I think that it's a very good cautionary tale, and it tells a story that is worth being told. It's just such a tricky window trying to tell it in such a huge piece of art with so many different moving parts with it.
I agree.
But
Blast,
yeah,
I appreciate that. I next time when I talk about an Olympic sprinter, I will get their nationality correct. Thank you very much. Yeah.
What nationality is Phelps?
He's American, right? Please.
I believe yes.
Please. Goddamn. What, you mean Michael Phelps? Is there another Phelps I should be aware of?
Patricia Phelps.
Fuck! Is that his mom or his sister?
I don't know.
Did Michael Phelps become trans and is now known as Patricia? God damn it. Don't do this to me. Okay, he's American. Thank God.
Good job. Good job.
I got it
Good for you.
right. Chat.
Mhm.
I'm so good at this game. I'm fucking incredible.
But also, yeah, the other piece of it is it's implied that there's a reason why real life Jax hangs out at Zubal's bar all the time.
I see.
Hmm
Because they're a postman, right?
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Hey.
Yeah, that's why.
Uh, post it up.
It's like Jax can afford to pay rent. I'm like, cool. Like
The real superhero of the American people, the post office.
unironically, post office stay winning. Stay like post office gang on top. Huge. Absolutely
uh,
incredible. But yeah, like my position has not moved on Jax. I understand why some people still might have some sympathy for them, and I understand your perspective. They are a cautionary tale, and it is structured that way on purpose. I still fucking hate him though.
you don't have to gel with. You don't have to be someone who likes the way that it was written to be hated.
Yeah.
Not everyone is gonna love to hate Jax. Jax is written to be hateable, and some people love to hate him.
Oh, count me in. I'm part of the I hate Jax club. I want
You're
a
not the
pin that I can wear on my shirt at all times. That's what I
Hang on.
want.
Did I send you the picture? Because I may have a picture I need to send you.
Okay, send. I don't know what it is, but send it to me. Fuck
All
it.
right. Okay, ladies, germs, and various worms, get ready for a canon, a canon piece
Canon.
of art made by Zubul. Not Zubul. What's wrong with me? Made by Goose.
Oh, okay. Chances are, whatever it is, I've probably seen it because my partner is a big fan of the show, or was.
Have you seen this canon piece of art by Goose?
Jax, if she wasn't a huge piece of shit. So glad I didn't make that moment in Ribbit's room weird and push them to suicide. I am also glad Pomni fits so well in the friend group. She and Ribbit feel like they were destined to fuck each other's brains out. Fair. True. Like it's like
the good ending of Jax.
yeah, true. It's like those pictures someone take of a person, right? It's like what if they were like evil? It's like the image is like negative and they're like the opposite of the person.
Mm.
It's like Jax if they were evil, and it's like I'm glad I didn't make that moment in Ribbit's room weird and push them to suicide. That was a good decision. Like
Now I can root for the upcoming lesbians.
now I can root for the upcoming lesbians. Yippee!
Now I can enjoy Yuri in peace.
Now I can enjoy this Yuri in peace. Finally, the day has come. Sitting in the lesbian cuck chair. Sitting in the lesbian cuck chair with like a clipboard and like, yes. Fantastic. Beautiful form. More fingers next time. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I swear to God, I thought Pomni and Ragatha were gonna fucking kiss. I was like, don't. Please don't.
the best part, the tail end of them wrapping up everything. How happy Ragatha was having the mom of the Gloink Queen and all the little Gloinks as siblings.
Yes.
And then she's hoisted up into the air, and I quote from Alex Rochon, there is nothing straight about that smile she just gave Pomni.
Absolutely
There is
true.
no heterosexual explanation.
Yeah, exactly. I am completely on board with that. I agree. And I'm
My
just
god, they're playing softball!
my God. What one thing that I was like I was like scared because I was sitting there thinking to anyone who might remember this dog shit movie, because I certainly do for the wrong reasons. The Last Jedi, the Which one? The Rise of Skywalker or wherever the fuck the last one in that terrible trilogy?
Yep.
Which one was the last one? Was it Rise of Skywalker?
I think it was Rise of Skywalker. That was the end one.
Okay. In that
I
one,
know exactly what you're talking about.
the Kylo Ren and fucking what was her name?
Rey.
Rey. That kiss, that like disgusted me deep down. It really fucking did, because that it was making me scared that it was going to be that moment again, because in my mind the entire trilogy I had imagined Rey and Kylo Ren not as like potential lovers, but as like siblings who have very different perspectives as to how the universe and how the world should be. And then when they kiss, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just imagined them as like brother and sister. I'm like, stop! It's like,
Joe, do you want to hear something even worse?
no, oh
You wanna
God,
hear something even worse?
please, God.
There is a very prominent theory that Anakin, who was conceived by the Force canonically in the story, was conceived by Palpatine with the Force.
Oh, I'd heard about that, and I think that's fucking stupid.
Do you know what that would mean?
That would mean that Palpatine's his dad,
That would
and
mean that Palpatine is Anakin's dad, which means that Palpatine would not only be Kylo's grandfather,
mhm,
Kylo's great
right,
grandfather,
yeah.
but also Rey's grandfather.
Star Wars just cannot stop with the incest allegations. I fucking swear to God. Why is Star Wars so fucking incestuous? Why is everything with like fucking your relatives in this universe? I don't understand. There
It
is
all
a
started with not deciding they were siblings yet, but leaving the scene in.
yeah. I'm just like why did one thing that happened in like in the fucking movies back in like the 70s, why are we still doing this? Stop. You don't have to continue with the incest. Leave that shit back there. That's fine. I don't want to go to my space war movie and just like, yep, they're siblings and they're going to fuck. I don't want this. Keep it away from me. I don't care.
Uh,
And so I was like, when I saw I was viewing like Ragatha and Pomni as like sisters almost. And when I saw them like look at each other a little too long, and they're just like very slowly pulling away from that hug, I'm like, don't, please, God, I can't do this again. I can't
not to
fucking do this
mention,
again.
not to mention, it's the worst time on the freaking planet to have possibly put in a kiss scene.
Oh, Jax killed himself. Oh my God, I'm so hot. Like, oh my God, don't fucking do this. I was scared. I was sitting in my chair. I'm like, please, God, don't do that. Don't do. I will get up and walk out right now. I've never walked out of a movie, but I would at that point if that shit happened. Oh my God. Oh, it's yeah. So yeah, I guess like try to wrap things up, folks. I was not a fan of this finale. I think my main criticisms of it are structure and pacing.
I
And
think that I land about the same. I think it was very close, but the pacing killed what they had.
yeah, the pacing just got fucking dragged right down. And just I'm not gonna lie, disappointing. And I'm just like, this is why I don't watch that many shows anymore that are still ongoing, because I was a big fan of Game of Thrones and that show did what it did. We don't need to relitigate that. But so And that Game of Thrones had me in a fucking grip. I was bought in. And since then I've been like traumatized. And now I'm gonna
I
make it
just
everyone
never
else's
gelled with it.
problem. Surprise, I'm Jax.
Surprise!
My trauma is now everyone else's problem, baby.
You have
Yippee!
taken the very wrong direction for this moral.
I will refuse to improve and reflect positively in any sort of fashion and use that to better myself for myself and the people around me. Instead, I will make everyone's lives worse forever.
If I become awful, I can be a purple rabbit who's a Tumblr sexy man too.
I will be a problematic evil twink for the rest of mankind. Woo! God.
Super twink.
I'm just imagining that like the Super Friends voice. This week, Super Twink comes back to fight against the
Hooray.
forces of justice. Yo, would you guys watch that?
Huzzah!
Would you guys watch that show? Super Twink versus like I don't know, the heroes of Earth or whatever.
I lived it. I don't need to watch it.
Oh, that's right. Goddamn. This hits different.
I got too many super twinks with too many layers.
You don't need a Twink Battle 2 Electric Boogaloo on your hands. You've already did your fight. You've already put
Served
in
my
your
time.
You know what? Thank you for your service. I should
Uh,
snap off a quick salute to you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Christ. Yeah, so overall, I guess I just want to try to wrap this up. Overall, not a big fan of the finale. I still recommend people watch it just so you can form your own opinion. You may have a different thought process and a different way of interpreting this than Red or I have. And
Yeah.
and I am, like I've said, I am fully open to hearing someone's different perspective. If it did work for you, I would like to know why. I genuinely want to know.
Oh yeah, me too. Just and if you're VOD watching, we'd love to see like some comments. Reasonable, respectful. We are a space where we we hate on each other as equals here, so we are going to behave.
Yeah, I like VOD watchers. Comment, please. It helps, or maybe it
Yeah,
doesn't. I don't look at the analytics. I don't give a fuck. But
we'd love to see people's opinions, stuff, brainstorming of like what they actually see with the takes of it. We spent 3 hours coming up with stuff, so I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say about it.
yeah,
And yeah,
whether you agree or disagree, I genuinely want to know, and I want to know. I want to know. You don't have to give me a fucking essay, but I'd like to know at least bits and pieces as to maybe why you think the way you do. I guess
if you adored it and you feel like there's nothing wrong with it, what are some of the things that you felt like were really, really good? And why do you think that we might be a little too harsh on certain criticisms? Like, we're curious about what gels well with you.
yeah, exactly. I unlike Jax, I am a person who takes criticism seriously, and I will try to better myself in the future. Um, especially at least on a personal note, the past few years have been an interesting time in my life, and I have gone through a lot of steps to shed a lot of cynicism from myself and to try to view things in a more positive outcome. Have I failed before in the past to maintain that consistency? Yeah, of course. Every improvement is never linear. You're always going to have bumps and hiccups along the way. But the fact that if you're trying, that's good enough. But so I guess like maybe I have like a harsher criticism of Jax based on my own personal experiences where I see the failures and not the unwillingness to improve, and I get angry at it. I get very frustrated because I can see it, and I can see through this this fragile mask that Jax wears, where he puts up this facade that's it's like, oh, I don't care. Ooh, aren't I super special and edgy? And boy, I know everything. But in reality, you're incredibly insecure. You're weak. You're cringe. Everyone knows that you are, and you're doing nothing but lying to yourself and being embarrassing. I know because I've been there. so so I understand it. I understand it, but the thing is, I've changed significantly since then,
You've
and
taken the steps that the character is warning you to take in your life, or you will become the worst form of yourself.
yes, and he's structured that way where he's meant to be a cautionary tale. He's meant to show you exactly what happens when you don't improve, when you stagnate, you rot, you become a sassy bitch, a sassy, thorny bitch in everyone's life that everyone just hates. Uh, and you make your own problems everyone else's problems. So
Shout out to my ex, baby.
shout out to you. I don't know your name, but either way, that's fuck you, I guess. I don't know what to say.
Don't tell the
but
internet his name.
I genuinely don't know the name.
I
And
know.
even if I did, I wouldn't say it.
Thank you.
But whoever you are, no thanks, bro. In the wise words of Leon Kennedy. Yeah,
Could have done better.
do
Same goes to
better.
anyone who feels like they relate to Jax. You
And
can do better.
if you do relate to Jax, you know what? Let sit on Daddy's lap for a second. Let me sit on Daddy's lap for a second.
You're opening a can of worms you do not want to open, sir.
Maybe it'll help. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna lie. I did use a Kubla Khan lyric for part of my little discussion. Was that don't repeat the cycle when you can change with you. Tomorrow's a new day. You can always start to become a better person. Today is not the end of your life. It doesn't have to be. You can always be stronger. You can always improve. All you got to do is just decide to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all. Now get off my fucking lap. I don't want you smell. Take a shower. Put on deodorant. I don't know. Whatever it is you got to do.
Oh, the past 3 hours we're talking, just throw it out the window. Rotten comes in with the true opinion.
Or because the ships I wanted weren't a thing and none of my theories panned out. Goddamn right. You know what? We spent all this time talking about our you have a more nuanced critique while I was like caveman smashing my way through it.
No, you guys
But
are still pretty subdued and pretty reasonably critical.
I tried. I'm not that smart, but I
But
tried.
throw it all in the trash can outside of back of Mr. Spudsy's.
Absolutely.
This is the true opinion.
This is the true opinion. The characters I wanted to fuck didn't fuck, and my insane theories did not happen.
But you got Gangle and Zooble as canon.
We got
Take
Gangle and Zooble. They were scissor maxing or whatever the fuck it is they were doing. I don't know.
I got the footage. I'll show you it later.
You did? That's horrifying. I don't know how you got that, but Jesus Christ.
Don't ask about my hobbies.
Just yeah, it's oh my god. I would say like it did not help that my initial experience was poisoned because of my absolutely awful theater experience.
That makes so much of a fence of everything.
Yeah, that did not fucking help. I guess like maybe the guy chewing popcorn with his mouth open, like when chat, you guys know that when you're sick, right? When you have like your sinuses are blocked up, your nose is stuffed up, and you still need to eat, and you're eating, but you have to do it with your mouth open, and it sucks. No one likes to do that. This guy was eating like that, but he was fine. He was raw dogging popcorn like a fucking toddler. Just like like that. And I'm just like, close your fucking mouth. Get a job. I don't know your life, but I have a feeling you're unemployed and you're pissing me off. I don't know.
Joe, I need you to understand. You
Hmm.
were in a room full of the people who stalked me.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, yeah, no, I can see
That's
that.
the people who follow me around without my consent. So welcome to the fun.
Well, these people are embarrassing and they need to find a full-time job.
I
Um,
know, right?
they need to take a shower, get a full-time job, go hiking or some sort of physical activity, touch grass, uh, like learn how to order a pizza without having an anxiety attack, and get some bitches. Maidenless behavior.
Here's
Um,
the thing, Joe. Don't tell them to shower. I can smell them coming, and that's how I know to run.
that's fair. It's like a warning mechanism. Yeah, that's you know what, that maybe that's true. Maybe they get some Old Spice on them, or they spray some Axe deodorant on themselves. Maybe that's like a sign too.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, huh, you don't understand, my queen. I've seen a beautiful life together in my visions.
And the thing is, it's okay to be geeky. It's okay to have struggles. It's
Sure.
okay to make mistakes. It's okay to even want to bring your plushies to something that you're really excited for. It's okay to have big
Mm,
emotions. Behave in a movie theater. Everyone's trying to hear the screen. Zip it. Don't stalk people.
that's huge.
And know that these characters and opinions about these characters are not definitive for one person as the one true everything. And Goose made a piece of art that she worked her ass off for. So behave and respect it for what it is. We can say, hey, we would have loved to see it grow in this direction or this direction.
Yeah.
Behave.
My problem isn't with Gooseworks. My problem is with the audience, with the
Mm-hmm.
community, because I will disagree with you on one thing: is that the bringing the plushies to the movie theater shit. Stop that. Don't do this. Uh, if you are above the age of like 14, don't do this.
Here's the window. How many are being brought?
Doesn't matter. One is too much. And I'm not
If
talking like a keychain or whatever. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like full ass plushie. Like, you gotta like tuck under your arm.
mm,
Don't do that. Even the person at the front who was checking tickets was like, "You guys look normal. Are you guys going into that fucking digital circus show?"
Are you
And we're
sure? Are
yeah,
you sure you're going in the right direction?
yeah. She had to ask. She's like, "Wait, you guys look like you shower and have a job. Are you sure you're going to the digital circus premiere?" And we're like, yeah, yeah. She's like,
Okay.
"Holy fuck, bro.
That
God
brings
damn."
me into my Iron Lung experience as a viewing experience as a piece of it too.
Mhm,
The Iron Lung experience, you had people who were dressing up a little bit thematically, there for the fun of it,
mhm.
playing around, like and excited for that sort of thing. But they walked into that theater with respect and dignity for the space.
I'm jealous. I'm so jealous.
Did
I'm
they
not
laugh when did they laugh when the tension broke on purpose and there was a little bit of humor slipped into the
It's a
moments?
slight
Yeah,
amount of levity.
just the right amount of reaction and the right amount of space. They respected the space. They respected the experience. And
God
that's
damn.
the thing of it. Digital Circus had a very tough act to follow with the level of respect and focus and intention that the Iron Lung audience had to making sure it was a good theatrical experience. I knew it wasn't going to be close. It hit all of my fears.
Yep. I had
Uh,
gone into it with an ignorant enthusiasm that my partner knew about, and she had suggested initially. She's like, "Well, I got the tickets for like the very first show," and she's like, "I have a bad feeling. Should I go for a different night?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's just stick with this one. We already got them, and who knows if those showings have already sold out." And she's like, okay. She fucking knew better. She should not have listened to me. Like
She made the horrible mistake of respecting your opinion.
she made the terrible decision of listening to her partner's decisions. God damn it. This woman knew better than I did. Fuck.
Well, now
Ugh.
you've learned something.
Now I learned to just shut up, and if she brings a concern like that forward for another movie showing, be like, yes, queen. No questions.
And here's the thing, if I start to feel like there's red flags involved and you two feel excited, I'm going to ask this directly. Should I tell you straight up?
Honestly, you probably should.
If you
Because
bought the tickets and you really want to do something nice and I start to get that little sense in the back of my head, I'll just straight up tell you, Joe, no.
yeah, you might be better off with that, because I'm just like, fuck. I
The
can't
circus is coming.
I don't have another one of these like terrible theater experiences in me before I have a crash out. I really don't. Like,
I will help you not be stuck in that same space.
yeah, I appreciate it.
Don't you put that evil on me, Rotten. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky
imagine
Bobby.
they eventually put a has-been hotel movie in theaters. I am going to quarantine myself in my apartment for a week after that shit is out there, because I do not know what kind of freaks, what kind of wretched people are going to be around during that time. Uh, there. Well, then again, these has been hotel and digital circus fans, uh, derogatory, are are they have all the time on their hands to do whatever they want. They are all unemployed. You cannot change my
Joe, I
mind.
need you to understand.
Hmm.
If Digital Circus is maybe a 6, Has Been is a 10.
Is has been hotel actually good, or what scale are we
No,
doing this on?
fandom insanity.
Oh, fandom insanity. Okay,
If Digital Circus is about a 6, Has Been is a 10.
so we are talking about the final bosses of unemployment. Is
Of
that true?
unhinged madness. Unhinged chaos madness.
Unemployable.
Mhm.
Can't call and order a pizza without having a fucking breakdown, like that kind of deal.
That, and then just add a lot of swear words.
Ugh, God, it's somehow more embarrassing. The actual
Like,
show is like 9 out of 10 recommend. I feel like you're baiting me, Rotten. I don't know if that's genuine.
So, as someone who knows your taste, Joe, you will not find it a 9 out of 10. You may find it interesting. It is a little bit overkill. Like, even though your name is Joe Overkill, I think for your taste, it's a little bit overkill.
That's funny. But
Is it's a lot of how many times can someone say the fuck word?
it just like, I would say, even if the show is like written well, I can tell
It's
by
not.
the art style I am not bisexual enough to watch this show. I feel like there's like a gate. There's like a toll I have to pay for like bisexuality or something to be able to watch the show. Otherwise, my
The
eyes will just go blind and I won't be able to perceive it.
the music is strong. You get musical numbers from frickin' Keith David.
Oh, I love Keith David.
Mhm.
Based.
Oh yeah, Joe would love Adam. However, it's the rest of it that leads up to Adam where I feel like it's just
Hmm.
not going to hit the way that you would hope it would.
Okay. Interesting.
It's like, what do you think the first man to get into heaven would be like?
I don't know, it'd probably be pretty cool. Or maybe heaven hasn't established the standards by then, so they just let like just fucking somebody, anybody, just in.
Just some dude.
There's like, well, we don't really have specific guidelines, so like, sure, man, you get in. You seem cool.
it, when you just sort of go, oh crap, we haven't developed a baseline yet, but he's
Yeah.
here now.
Is Adam the baseline of what gets into heaven? Like, they're able to judge their criteria based on Adam. And
No,
then,
Adam showed up and they went, "Oh crap, we really are gonna have to have a baseline, aren't we?"
oh, okay, I gotcha. He's the benchmark. He's like, okay, we have to morph
Mhm.
all this stuff around this dude.
It's
Gotcha.
like we really got to fix these standards. That's what Adam's character is.
Ah, I see. So we
Mm.
gotta reform our shit based around this guy. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like when you go to the zoo, right? And there's like a sign near some sort of animal enclosure saying not to do something insane. And it's like someone put this sign up because someone did something fucking insane here. Otherwise, like no one would have ever thought to do this. But one guy
Imagine
did it.
that. Imagine they put the sign up and it's right there,
Hmm.
except you look over and you can still see the guy doing it.
Okay, gotcha.
Imagine that the guy that you see a sign that says, "Please do not stick your penis in the giraffe enclosure."
Yeah. It's like,
And
please
about
do
two
not do
feet away
this.
from the sign is
There's
the
a
guy
guy
who's just still there.
there's a guy named Adam who is like, he's like, boy, isn't it the best part in life to put your cock into the giraffe enclosure? And everyone's
He's
like,
just sitting
ah.
there with it already in there.
And everyone's like, yeah, I see why the sign's there. That's starting to make a lot of sense. I'm
Yep.
picking up what you're putting down.
Hmm. So yeah, that's a little sample of Has Been. Great music. The writing is writing.
The writing is writing. That's ominous.
It sure is written. The
Jeez.
music is phenomenal. The concepts are interesting and have an interesting energy. It is not like Digital Circus where you have a lot of really great writing and then just the one thing that fell flat. It's like a lot of meh writing but great music.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
I
So I
just
think Has Been would be a solid 6 for you taste wise.
I I feel like I had a hard time getting past the initial impression of Digital Circus too, but like
Hmm.
Has Been looks like that just kind of steps it up a notch where I'm like, I don't know if I like, it's like this just is not for me. I am not part of the LGBT community. I have no fucking, I don't know what any of this is. It looks
The
like I
fact
need
that you
a,
don't mm,
sorry, go ahead.
the fact that you don't like Jax tells me you wouldn't like Has Been.
Yeah, no, I would bounce right the fuck off. I would
That
bounce off
is a
so
very
hard.
distinctive overlap.
Yeah,
It's like
the fan base that would like him is like core to this one. Is that what it
mm,
is?
yeah. Rotten is an interesting case where Rotten
Based.
seems to like not like Jax but likes
Based.
Has Been.
Based rotten. Incredible, good, great opinion. I'm right there. Me and you, we're doing the predator handshake thing right now. It's like rotten and me hating Jax. Fucking. That's us.
Well, like
Based.
knowing your taste, I think you'd love Gravity Falls. I don't know if you would gel with Has Been.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I would get into Has Been. I'm not above watching like one episode to just like peek my head in the door and see what's up, to be able to go, okay, I see what this is, and I can go, not for me, or maybe I dive in a little bit more. Um, but I try to keep an open mind.
I think you'd like Vox's song. I think you'd like Keith David's character. I think Adam, you'd find a fun time.
Okay,
Otherwise, I I don't think you would like the main character because she's like very much a ray of sunshine, Mary Sue, superpowered person.
okay, gotcha. Huh,
Mm.
huh.
It's interesting. I like it for what it is, but it's like actual
Few-
episode one and not the pilot. I
Okay,
didn't hate the pilot, but I know what you mean. As in, like it, the actual episode one establishes what's going on a lot more than the pilot does because they changed
hmm.
everything. Which, fun fact, there's a character named Angel Dust in the pilot, voiced by the same person who voices Jax.
Ah, I see.
Mhm.
I mean, I would be able to separate those two people as long as they're different characters, I wouldn't care.
Oh, yeah. And then like the main series is not even the same voice actor. They wound up switching it, I think, to try and get like a healthier base for like the vocal singing because Angel just has a hard voice to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, recommending a show to people, like, sometimes you want to recommend that they watch like the pilot included, and sometimes the pilot is literal episode one. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I know like sometimes pilots with shows can be like real rough around the edges, and they haven't like really found their footing, so that might shut people out of it. But yeah, I
I
can understand that.
I think the only thing from the pilot that you would like better mainly is the character Alistair in the pilot versus the actual series.
Okay. Hmm.
Otherwise, yeah, it's an interesting show. There's a lot going on with it. A lot of the little moving parts of it. A lot of artistry to it, and it's pretty cool. But
Hmm.
tis
Cool.
complicated. Many things. But yeah, Circus is digital.
It's Circus digital computers. I don't know how they work, but they
And
do stuff.
apparently, there will be more shorts and little bits of media about the characters and about their time on certain occasions.
Hmm.
Not directed by Goose, but directed by someone that Goose trusts.
Interesting. Okay. Huh.
So they're we're not seeing the very end of these characters, but Goose is like, I gotta take a step away from this fandom and from everything because it's just getting a little too much for me to handle.
That's a very kind way of putting it, because as far as
Uh,
I've understood, she's like, "Get me the fuck away from you people.
uh,
You people fucking piss me off."
and
And
yet she's on Tumblr, Brain still doing talkbacks of every episode.
ah. Well, hold on one second. Red, can you entertain the audience for me real quick? I gotta pee real quick, and then we'll wrap things up.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! All right, BRB.
Hello, all you beautiful people. What's up? Talk to me. But yeah, it was just worried about Dungeon Crawler Carl. Dungeon Crawler Carl. He'll find his way. That's just what he does. You can't talk? You're a space marine? Well, you're here you are talking now. That sounds like a you problem, Blast. Oh, you worry about Seth MacFarlane taking him on. Well, I can ease some of your worries, Robin. Is your discomfort with Seth MacFarlane from like modern Family Guy stuff? Or like do you just not enjoy some of the stuff you've seen him work on in his personal time? Both? Oh, okay, interesting. Cuz I don't know if you've seen the Orville and the live action thing. Okay, interesting. But yeah, McFarland is he has not done any writing for Family Guy for a very long time. So a lot of what you see, and yell at me if you're getting an ad and you can't hear me, so that's fine. But a lot of what you see from McFarlane is not actually his work. He's very musical theater writing dynamic oriented. So very like wants to stay true to the inspiration and wants to build upon what was there. So do I think it's going to tank? Probably not. It may not be necessarily your taste, but it's not going to be butchered. McFarlane does try and put a lot of care into stuff when he's handed an IP that's not his original idea. Family Guy was just what happens when you release a shit post into the wild and it goes viral.
Ahoy.
Welcome back.
So yeah, I've heard about this dungeon crawler Carl thing. I have no fucking idea what's going on. It like literally came out of the blue. And I'm like, why is everyone suddenly talking about this thing? Never heard it before in my life. And everyone's like, this is the best fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what is this to begin with?
Apparently, it's a book series or possibly a comic series, I believe, that people are pretty hardcore about.
Okay.
But people have
Huh.
opinions on, or at least Robin has opinions on Seth MacFarlane having involvement in it.
I understand.
I have seen Seth MacFarlane thrive with working with IPs, which is something I've talked about recently, like adapting and doing a truthful adaptation and like understanding the nuances behind something when you're trying to adapt it.
Hmm.
So I think it's got potential to be okay just because of how particular McFarlane is.
Okay. Gotcha.
Do not compare it to Modern Family Guy. He's not written for that in years.
Yeah, as far as I understood, I remember you telling me that like he hasn't been involved in Family Guy in like forever, so
Since I reached the age to watch it.
fair. I've heard that you've told me that the Orville is like pretty much as good as a Star Trek show as you're gonna get outside of Star Trek, which Star Trek in its own universe has been shitting its pants for way too long.
Star the Orville is probably the most accurate to the spirit of the original Star Trek series that we've gotten since the Next Generation.
Gotcha. Okay,
Mm.
I can respect that. I gotcha.
So McFarlane really likes to put a lot of care into adapting something truthfully. So hopefully it'll be good. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's the tricky part of finding a balance. Anyway, that's just stuff with everything.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say I'm gonna have to wrap things up here. Uh, but yeah, Red, thank you for coming on and chatting about everything tonight. It was good to have someone else's insight into different parts of uh Digital Circus, because I know there was like certain parts I didn't understand, or maybe parts I didn't look into deep enough, and I think you provided some pretty helpful insight into some of those things. So I appreciate that.
And this is stuff that people are going to hot button debate for probably years to come because there's a lot of layers of what people think for this.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think people are going to be talking about it for quite a bit until they find something else new to get fucking real mad about or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, thank you for popping on. I appreciate you.
Of course.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna jump out of chat and say goodbye to everyone real quick. So,
Alrighty.
all right, you have a good night, Red. Okay, thank you for coming on.
Of course. You too.
All right, bye bye.
Goodbye.
And folks, that is going to be it for us this week. So, what does this mean? This means surprise, Chuckle Nuts. You got another week of content coming up, and spoiler, surprise, surprise. We're gonna be doing actually a pretty healthy batch of repo this upcoming week. I know Tuesday we're gonna try to shoot for some more repo, and we're gonna be doing repo again on Thursday. As far as Sunday, we are going to be we're just going to be playing something. Haven't quite decided yet, but I want to play, no, maybe some more of that Fate Keeper game or more of Eternal Strands. I've been having a lot of fun with Eternal Strands in my off time. Or maybe I do some Steam Next Fest demos that have been really cool. I might highlight that, but we'll figure it out. Gonna try the new party game Mecha Chameleon. What is that? Mecha Chameleon? Oh, that came up pretty quick. What the fuck is that? What is this? Is this a friend slot game? Paint yourself to blend in and Mecha Chameleon's new sensation hide and seek. Paint your white body. Well, I do got a pretty white body, so maybe I fit into this game. Spot pose, artistic skill, keys survival, see. Okay, so it's basically hide and seek, but you're a paintable little fella. That sounds kind of neat. I don't think I'm gonna play it, but it looks kind of cool. It looks like a neat little twist to the formula. It's prop hunt, but painting. I found it fun. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I'm not gonna lie. I do not have time or desire for another friend slop party game. I have too many as is. But I did get Gamble with Your Friends, so I'm gonna have to play that at some point. I already own too many of these fucking games, but I don't know. Maybe we'll consider it. Time desire, but no friends. I gotcha. Same. I understand that. Anyways, so yeah, quick little update. Tuesday and Thursday are probably gonna be repo. Sunday is gonna be something. All right, I won't waste your time. But y'all have a good night. Take care and keep an eye on the Discord for our upcoming schedule. And we will see you folks on Tuesday. Okay? Have a good night, everyone. Take care. And bye-bye. Oh, also remember, Joverkill is on top. Joverkill has always been on top. And Joverkill will always be on top. Thank you so much. Have a good night. And we will see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.